Thank you so very much for supporting our work. Yeah, we head to the top. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so very much for supporting our work. Yeah, we head to the top. Know that this is who we are. We thank you so much. Thank you so very much for supporting our work. Yeah, we head to the top. Thank you, Tina. Amazing, man. We missed you, Tina. Thank you so much for the support and for coming back once again. It's a never-ending support, man. Since March 2022, man. That's a long time. That's a whole baby, bro. 3 years old baby. It's crazy. Seen us grow old. You've seen Brian gain some weight. Same with Colin. Colin is now he's got the dad board. You used to.
Okay.
Anyway, today we are back, and Tina says, "Hey Lenny, hope everyone is doing well. It has been a minute since my last request in June. I have changed to the Leonard's Ultimate type and was hoping to recommend an even longer video, which is kind of like a movie since it's 2 hours long. I wanted you all to react to the evolution of each Stray Kids member, full movie. The video is an explanation of the journey from debut to now, and it is in English. Wow, such a good timing since we have some newbies here who don't know who Stray Kids are. They just know like Felix or something like that, but they don't know the whole story around it. And by the way, if you thought the intro song is lit, that's one of Stray Kids song called Stray Kids. Stray Kids song called Stray Kids. Feel me?
Okay.
The name of the group and the name of the song is the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get to it.
Christopher Changbin has been in the music industry for over 14 years. With this experience and time, he's had an immense impact on the industry and the people around the world. Known simply as Bang Chan, he was born on October 3rd, 1997. He is the eldest of 3 children, with a younger sister Hannah and a younger brother Lucas. Growing up in a multicultural household, Chan was exposed to various cultures and languages at a young age, which would later influence his music career. Bang Chan's journey in the music industry began in 2010 when he joined JYP Entertainment as a trainee at the age of 13. At the time, his main driver to become a K-pop idol was his love for giving other people a good time. After moving to South Korea on April 11, 2011 to train with JYP, he began attending Cheongdam High School, the same high school Seungmin would later attend. During this time, he began making his own songs on his MacBook. He paused his schooling at first because of just how much he was doing at the time, writing songs, practicing dance, practicing singing, practicing Korean, and engaging in the rigorous school system South Korea has. He didn't quit schooling indefinitely though, later picking it back up in his 3rd year. Bang Chan's training period, from 2010 to 2017, was filled with intense practicing and dedication. During this time, he trained alongside future members of popular JYP groups like GOT7, Twice, and Day 6. This extensive training not only sharpened his singing, dancing, and rapping skills, but also gave him a deep understanding of music production. For most of his time as a trainee, he went by the stage name Chris. As a trainee, Chris appeared in 2 of JYP Entertainment's music videos. He first showed up as an extra in Miss A's Only You on March 29th, 2015, where he can be seen drinking coffee. Later, on October 19th, he appeared in Twice's Life, dressed up as a zombie. In late 2016, during his training, Bang Chan formed a hip-hop group with 2 other trainees, Changbin and Han. Each member used a different stage name. Changbin was known as Spear B, Han as J1, and Bang Chan as CB97, with his name incorporating his initials CB and his birth year, 1997. Together, they formed the group 3RACHA. Bang Chan and 3RACHA released their first song, Intro, on February 1st, 2017, followed by more songs as a group. Later that year, on October 11th, JYP Entertainment announced a new survival show called Stray Kids, revealing Chris as one of the contestants for a new boy group project. Bang Chan formed this group of 9 members by himself and took on the role of leader. The group chose the name Stray Kids together. The logo for the show, as well as the logo for the group, were both created by Bang Chan. In addition to being the leader, Bang Chan was also introduced as a producer, dancer, singer, and rapper. On December 19th, the series finale aired, in which all 9 of the members he selected were told they would debut together, with Bang Chan as their leader. The following year, on March 25th, 2018, Bang Chan finally made his debut as a K-pop idol. Starting at just 13 and having to wait until he's 20 just to debut took an immense level of patience from him. However, with all the time he had in training, he was able to work on his craft and skills greatly. Day. The day after their debut, Stray Kids released their first EP, I Am Not. Bang Chan is credited with helping write every song on the album and producing 3 of them. As a producer, he played a key role in the recording process, guiding the other members through their vocal performances. Specifically, Chris produced the tracks District 9, Awaken, and Grow Up. The following year, on January 2nd, Chan began a new series. Every week, he would try to live stream. He used these live streams to further connect with fans, as well as display what he's up to. The series, titled Channy's Room, began on the platform VLive until October 22nd of 2022, when he switched to streaming on YouTube. After Woojin's leave in December of 2019, Bang Chan has had to work on his vocal capabilities further to be able to compensate for him leaving. This can be seen especially in the re-record album, SKZ 2020, where he takes the majority of what was Woojin's lines. On December 26th, 2019, Stray Kids released a song titled Mixtape Gone Days. This song was primarily written by Bang Chan and reflects his feelings about growing older. It's a track that holds special meaning to him. Just days before Stray Kids' second debut anniversary, on March 23rd, Bang Chan released a dance cover of My House, a song by his label mates, 2PM. The following week, he shared his first vlog on the Stray Kids YouTube channel, where he documented working with the members of 2PM to learn the choreography and part of the recording process. Later that year, on May 19th, Bang Chan was featured on Changbin's song, Streetlight, which was part of the SKZ Record series. 11 days later, on May 30th, Chris released a song called I Hate to Admit, which he wrote and produced entirely by himself. This track was also a part of the SKZ Record series. Towards the end of the summer, on August 18th, Bang Chan released his second vlog. The video featured him playing Uno with his fellow Aussie, Felix. This video is where the infamous Uno match comes from. Due to the global situation at the time, the Stray Kids members, including Bang Chan, had plenty of time to focus on music. Both Changbin and Bang Chan were featured on the SKZ Record song, Maknae on Top, which was released on January 15th, 2021. Additionally, 4 members of Stray Kids, Bang Chan, Changbin, Seungmin, and Felix, came together to write the song Up All Night, which was released as an SKZ Record track on June 18th. Later on July 2nd, Bang Chan and Lino, the 2 oldest members of Stray Kids, collaborated on a track called Drive. In this same time, Stray Kids were competing in the reality TV show Kingdom Legendary War. Stray Kids performed a mashup of Blackpink's Do 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 and Stray Kids' God's Menu. For the performance, Felix would be seen dressed up as Deadpool, which later caught the original actor Ryan Reynolds' attention. This attention led to Ryan and Chan interacting. The 2 sent each other gifts, with Chris sending Ryan a signed copy of In Life and Ryan sending Chris a signed bottle of his aviation gin. Bang Chan later tweeted a picture of him with the bottle, letting Ryan know he had received his gifts. On August 13th, as part of the marketing for Ryan Reynolds' upcoming film, Free Guy, Bang Chan interviewed him on the 20th Century Fox YouTube channel. The interview spans nearly 7 minutes and primarily features the 2 complimenting each other, with Bang Chan completely freaking out. On June 27th, 2021, Dewey of Twice released a cover of Taylor Swift's song, Me. The original track features Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco, so Dewey brought in Bang Chan to provide the male vocals for the cover. In 2022, during their Maniac World Tour, Bang Chan shared that while he was training, he took a vacation back to Australia. During this trip, he attended a music festival where he saw a band perform a cover of Nirvana's song, Smells Like Teen Spirit. This was also his first experience with a mosh pit. On August 20th, 2022, Bang Chan was the Day 1 MC for KCON LA 2022, an event that drew over 90,000 attendees. Exactly 1 year later, on August 20th, 2023, he returned as the MC for Day 3 of the event, which saw a significantly larger crowd of over 140,000 people.
Wow.
One of Bang Chan's notable achievements is his impressive songwriting record. With over 190 songs to his name, he ranks as the 3rd most prolific K-pop idol in terms of songwriting credits. The 2nd place is held by BTS's RM, who has 228 published songs. Chan's work in music production has not gone unnoticed either. On December 14th, 2023, Bang Chan, along with TRICIA, won the Best Creator Award at the Asian Artist Awards, further cementing his status as a leading figure in the K-pop industry. His influence also extends to his fellow members, as he often collaborates with them on various tracks, such as his feature on Changbin's Streetlight and Ian's Maknae on Top. Sadly, on May 14th, the last episode of Channy's Room aired. Chris nor the company gave any public reason as to why it ended, but its existence has certainly left an impact on fans and people together. Towards the end of 2023, on December 25th, Bang Chan and Ian released a song together. With the timing of its release, it could almost be seen as a Christmas gift. Black Hole is a sentimental, upbeat song, displaying how well Bang Chan's vocals had developed. On March 2nd, Bang Chan released his first solo SKZ recorded music video for the new song, Eternity. Supposedly, the song is inspired by his dog, Barry, who lives with his parents in Australia. Interestingly, Chan has previously mentioned that he doesn't believe anything could last an eternity, which adds a unique twist to the story behind this song. Later in April, Bang Chan was chosen to be the cover of the Japanese magazine, Nylon. The photo shoot has become rather popular thanks to his stylist. 2 months later, Bang Chan was selected for the cover of the Korean issue of W Magazine. In the same month, Bang Chan attended Milan Fashion Week as a guest of the luxury brand, Fendi. Chris could be seen in an outfit made up entirely of the brand, even being featured on the Days Korea Instagram page. On July 8th, Chan and Felix became hosts for the brand new Apple Music radio show, All About Stray Kids. The Aussie duo brought on their fellow members, where they discussed their past and the music they grew up on. In the first episode, however, it was just the duo. On July 19th, the same day their mini-album 8 was released, the Marvel Korea YouTube channel shared a video featuring Bang Chan and Felix interviewing Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, stars of the film Deadpool and Wolverine. In the interview, the Stray Kids members praised the actors for the significant impact they've had on their lives. In return, Reynolds and Jackman thanked Bang Chan and Felix for their positive impact and their efforts in bringing people together globally. Bang Chan is known for his perfectionist nature, often dedicating long hours to perfecting choreography and editing music. This trait, coupled with his talent, has earned him admiration both within and outside the industry. Bang Chan's journey from Sydney to Seoul is a great display of his dedication, talent, and leadership. As the leader of Stray Kids, he has been crucial in shaping the group's sound and identity. His roles as a singer, dancer, rapper, producer, and a composer have established him as a significant figure in the K-pop industry. With a growing list of achievements and steadfast commitment to his craft, Bang Chan continues to inspire fans and fellow artists, demonstrating that his journey is far from over. Lee Min-ho is the second oldest member of Stray Kids, a Korean pop group who has built themselves up by producing and choreographing their own music. Within Stray Kids, Lee-no has become one of the most respected idol dancers, thanks to his careful attention to every move and his extensive background in dance. Born on October 25th, 1998, in Gimpo, South Korea, Lee Min-ho, also known as Lee-no, was raised as an only child. Early in his life, he trained in Taekwondo and mixed martial arts, which he earned his second-degree black belt in. As a child, he initially dreamed of becoming a policeman, but that changed in middle school when he saw a dance performance online. He quickly tried to mimic the moves, practicing in front of his bathroom mirror. Excited, he asked his mom if he could take dance lessons. According to past information, Lee-no grew up primarily in Daegapmyeon, a peninsula of Gimpo, which would mean Lee-no took a 2-hour commute just for dance classes, which was actually kind of crazy. That really goes to show how dedicated and invested Min-ho was in dance. He trained with Soul Dance for 5 years, up until he debuted in Stray Kids. Due to his long commutes, Lee-no took on multiple jobs during high school to cover his travel expenses. He worked as a teacher at the dance studio and also as an employee at a local barbecue restaurant. Not long after he started learning dance, he auditioned for a spot at KIBAHA Entertainment. Coincidentally, National Geographic was there on the same day, interviewing aspiring trainees. Min-ho was one of the fortunate few to be interviewed, where he shared his dream of becoming a singer. He performed Usher's OMG, likely the same routine he had prepared for the audition. Unfortunately, he didn't pass the audition and continued to train at Soul Dance. The following year, he auditioned for a different company, JYP Entertainment. His audition followed with no success, and Min-ho assumed he had failed it again, due to the lack of any response from JYP. 2016 came, and he was now 18. He decided to pursue dancing professionally, where he joined 2 different dance teams within Soul Dance, those being Cupcakes and Brownie Bros. He participated in the 2016 World of Dance show with his dance team, Cupcakes, on June 2nd. Around the same time, Lee-no joined BTS's backup dance team, performing as a dancer for their music videos. In 2017, Min-ho continued performing as a backup dancer for BTS during their live trilogy episode 3, The Wings Tour. He participated in the Japanese leg of the tour, from May 30th to July 2nd, performing in 13 shows altogether. While on tour, Min-ho realized he no longer wanted to stay in the background. He wanted to be at the center of the stage, reviving his middle school dream of becoming a singer. Around this time, JYP Entertainment finally followed up on Min-ho's audition, nearly 2 years later. The company likely noticed how much he had improved through his experience working with BTS. On July 15, 2017, Min-ho joined JYP Entertainment as a trainee. Lee-no chose to use his full name, Min-ho, as his stage name when he first joined the company. Shortly after, he caught the attention of Bang Chan, who was assembling a 9-member group. Impressed by Min-ho's exceptional dancing skills, Chan saw him as a valuable asset and invited him to join Stray Kids. On October 6, 2017, the group released the music video for their promotional song, Elevator, written by TRICIA Rutta, the core producers of Stray Kids. Elevator became the theme song for their upcoming survival show, Stray Kids, which premiered on October 17th. Initially, Mino focused on fulfilling his dream of being a singer by handling the vocal parts of the first rendition of Elevator. However, during the second episode of Stray Kids, when the group performed the song for Park Jin-young, better known as JYP, he felt Mino lacked the singing skills required for the group. JYP challenged him to rap on the spot, despite Mino having no prior experience. Mino successfully met JYP's expectations with his rapping, allowing him to continue on the show. JYP informed the 9 members to split into units for the next mission, with each unit tasked with writing and performing a new song. Minho, along with 2 other members, was at risk of elimination. For his unit, he chose Changbin from TRICIA RUTTA and his fellow main dancer, Felix. Both Changbin and Felix were known for their rapping skills, which allowed Mino to learn and grow as a rapper in preparation for his next performance. The following week, Mino and his unit performed Low for JYP, showcasing both rapping and singing lines in an attempt to impress him. Unfortunately, Mino made a mistake in his rap due to his inexperience and nerves. JYP felt that Mino's performance would hold the group back, attributing it to his short 2-month training period. Despite his ongoing vocal training, JYP also believed Mino wasn't ready to sing effectively. As a result, Mino was eliminated in the 4th episode. The show continued with 8 members, but Mino, despite his elimination, persisted in training with JYP Entertainment. He dedicated himself to improving, especially in his rapping skills. Jin-young noticed Mino's hard work and decided to give him another chance in the 9th episode of the show. Felix, who had also been eliminated in episode 8, was given another opportunity alongside Minho. The 10th episode was broadcast live across South Korea on December 19th, featuring performances from both the 7-member and a 9-member group. JYP left the decision up to the viewers, who overwhelmingly voted in favor of all 9 members debuting, with 96% supporting the full lineup and only 4% against it. The following year, Mino made his debut with Stray Kids, performing at Jongchung Arena on March 25th, 2018. At this time, he changed his stage name from Mino to Lino to avoid confusion with Chinese Mino. The next day, March 26th, his first EP with Stray Kids, titled I Am Not, was released. This digital album features 7 tracks, with Lino primarily taking on the rapping parts. Although the songs were produced by the members of Stray Kids, giving him a chance to sing a few lines, he wasn't given any of the vocal hooks quite yet. Lino, Felix, and Hyunjin collectively made up the unit Dance Russia. Exactly 5 months after their I Am Not mini-album released, they showcased their dancing abilities through an SKZ player video. In addition to being celebrated for his dance skills, Lino is also well known among fans for his deep love for cats. He even claims to be able to communicate with them perfectly. In early 2019, he adopted his 3rd cat, Dori, who now lives with his parents along with his 2 other cats, Suni and Dungi. Around the same time, on April 17th, Lino appeared as a special guest MC on the music program Show Champion. On July 3rd, Lino further showcased his dancing skills with an SKZ player video, where he performed a choreography he created to a jazz-influenced song. He titled the performance Dawn and gave fans a brief insight into the personal meaning behind the choreography. This video highlighted his creativity and deep connection to dance, allowing fans to see another side of his artistry. Mino writes, I often stay up until dawn practicing my choreography, and I've been thinking about the time of day called dawn. For me, dawn is a time when night and morning coexist, and I try to express the conflicting moods of night and morning by adding a movement to a musical source. I had a short period of time, but I worked hard to prepare the music and choreography myself to give you a different look. I hope you enjoy it. A month later, Lino hosted his first live stream, which he called Lino's Playroom. 3 months after that, Stray Kids appeared on the Korean drama Extraordinary You, where they performed their original song, Never Ending Story. This song marked a significant milestone for Lino, as it was his first opportunity to sing the chorus in one of the group's major tracks. He is featured on every chorus, sharing the part with some of Stray Kids' renowned vocalists, Han, Seungmin, and Bang-chan. The following year, on February 21st, Lino released his first vlog. In this vlog, he can be seen taking a rest day by hanging out with his high school friends, as well as his 3 cats. After Woojin's leave in October, Stray Kids released an album on March 18th featuring re-recorded versions of their past songs, filling in the gaps left by their former 9th member. Most notably, Lino took on singing parts within the chorus for several songs, including Mirror, originally sung by Ian, and Spread My Wings and Miro, both of which were originally sung by Woojin. This allowed Lino to further showcase how much he had developed his vocal capabilities since they were first recorded. In 2020, Lino is beginning to achieve his dream of both performing at the center and being a singer. Additionally, Stray Kids released the first repackaged album on September 4th, titled In Life. Lino, along with his unit, Dance Russia, wrote the 7th track on the album, Wow. Mino could be heard singing throughout the entire track. As April began, Stray Kids participated in a new TV show, Kingdom Legendary War, hosted by Mnet, which aired 10 episodes. Stray Kids delivered several iconic performances, with one of the most memorable being their cover of their fellow contestants' B2B's song, I'll Be Your Man. In the 5th episode, aired on April 29th, Lino took on the challenging vocals in the song's chorus, further establishing him as the singer he aspired to be. This performance showcased his growth and proved to the millions of viewers that he indeed is a skilled vocalist. A few months later, on July 3rd, Baekhyun and Lino collaborated on the track Drive. This pop hip-hop fusion song features a chill yet energetic style. Although Lino doesn't take on any singing roles in the song, it highlights his impressive rapping skills. Drive was released with a music video as part of the SKZ Replay series. A little over a month later, on August 14th, Lino became a fixed MC for the music program Show Music Corps. He served as an MC for a little over 2 years, beginning working with NCT 127's Jungwoo and a former IZ*ONE member, Kim Minju. 9 days later, on August 23rd, Lino and Stray Kids released their second full-length album, No Easy. The album features another unit song, similar to Wow from In Life. However, unlike In Life, Lino reunited with the same members he worked with during the survival show. Dubbed Team Below, Lino, Changbin, and Felix collaborated to write the summer-inspired song, Surfin'. In this track, Lino takes on numerous singing roles, even filling in the otherwise empty bridge, further showcasing his vocal growth. The following month, on September 16th, Lino was featured in Edro's new luxury fashion campaign, alongside his fellow Dance Ratcha members. As 2022 began, Lino appeared on the cover of Beauty Plus magazine for their February issue. This feature marked a significant moment in his career, as he began to be recognized not just as a member of Stray Kids, but also a prominent figure in both the fashion and music industries. On March 18th, Lino once again took the center with the other vocalists of Stray Kids. For the Ordinary album, the group split into 2 teams, each creating their own song. Lino co-wrote Waiting for Us alongside the group's strong vocalists, Seungmin, Ian, and Baekhyun. While it's no longer surprising to see Lino singing, what makes this song particularly noteworthy is how much he has grown, now able to hold his own and sing alongside those who excel in and are dedicated to singing. Later that year, Stray Kids released another album featuring unit tracks. Dance Ratcha's new song, Taste, blends pop and EDM, making it an ideal track for a dance performance. In this song, Lino effortlessly showcases his singing, rapping, and dancing skills. As 2022 came to a close, Stray Kids released a compilation album featuring both previously released project songs and a new solo track for each member. Lino's collaboration track, Drive, was included as track 14, along with his own solo song, Limbo. Lino co-wrote Limbo with producer Hot Sauce, making it one of the few songs to not involve 3 Ratcha. The track is a vocal-heavy piece blended with melodic rapping, perfectly encapsulating who Lino is and what he aspires to be. Limbo has rightfully become one of the most played songs from the SKZ Player series, amassing over 30 million streams on Spotify alone. In the middle of 2023, on June 9th, Lino appeared on the Pixid YouTube channel, where he took part in a challenge to disguise himself as a kid among other kids, a playful nod to the Stray Kids group name. Ironically, Lino's naturally playful personality helped him blend in quite well. However, he was eventually caught due to a slip-up when trying to calculate the age he would need to be to convincingly pose as a second grader. The following month, Lino was again featured on the cover of the magazine, this time being seen on the cover of Dazed Korea. Lino's appearance on the magazine had caught the attention of a luxury brand, Dior. The brand wanted to get in on the marketable chance and sponsored the issue, which would feature Lino in the brand's clothing. Later in October, Lino was chosen for the digital cover of W Korea's October issue, with the shot sponsored by the luxury brand, Gucci. In addition to his cover feature, Lino appeared as a guest on W Korea's YouTube channel, where he shared tips and tricks for making better tasting chicken breasts. The following month, Lino was featured in W Korea for a pictorial, once again sponsored by Gucci. Shortly after, Lino took part in W Korea's 18th annual Love Your W campaign, aimed at raising awareness for breast cancer. In between his features with W Korea, Lino released a duet with Han on October 15th, titled Want So Bad. The track is an upbeat, bouncy song that primarily showcases his singing. Shortly after, on November 4th, Lino stepped down from his role as an MC for Show Music Corps due to increasing scheduling conflicts. 6 days later, on November 10th, Stray Kids released Rockstar, an album where Lino showcased perhaps the most singing of his career. He took on key vocalist roles throughout the album, most notably delivering the iconic ending hook of Cover Me and the chorus of the softer track, Leave. Rockstar stands as a testament to all that Lino has worked for over the years, marking his full acceptance as a singer within the group. After 2024 had begun, Lino released his first cover track as a part of the SKZ Record series. He covered his label mate Day 6's track, Love or Leave Me. On February 29th, it was reported that Lino had donated 100 million Korean won to World Vision's Global Hunger Crisis Response Project to help children facing food shortages. In recognition of his generous contribution, he was appointed as a member of the Bob Pierce Honor Club. On August 22nd, 2023, 6 members of Stray Kids opened personal Instagram accounts. However, Lino didn't see the purpose or need for one at the time. Out of consideration for Mino, Han also chose not to open an account, not wanting Lino to feel left out. Eventually, Lino changed his mind and made his first post on his new Instagram account on March 25th, 2024. Lino's influence in both fashion and music was further acknowledged when he was one of Gucci's guests at their Cruise 2025 fashion show on May 16th, solidifying his status as a rising style icon. His association with the luxury brand didn't stop there, as in June 2024, he was featured on the cover of W Korea's June issue, sponsored by Gucci. Honestly, not sure why Gucci is hesitating to make Lino an ambassador of the brand. They really seem to love him. Lino's vocal journey continued to flourish when he appeared on the Lee Moo-jin service show, where he performed Twilight off of 8, as well as 3 cover songs, Rumblefish's You to Me Again, Boa's Only One, and Banks Can't Have You. The episode premiered on July 16th, further showcasing his reputation as a well-renowned singer. Following this, on July 23rd, Stray Kids released Splash, a project that prominently featured Lino singing. I've said it a million times now, but this one too is a special track. Splash was featured in the Hollywood blockbuster film Deadpool and Wolverine, showing that not only the group Stray Kids, but also the entirety of the company was confident with displaying Lino's singing capabilities in a major role. Over the years, Lino has demonstrated that he has achieved his goal of becoming a skilled singer. Alongside this, Lino has honed his dance skills for over a decade, refining the style that he's now known for. Additionally, he has mastered the art of blending his singing and dancing, a balance he once struggled to achieve. With all these accomplishments, it's clear that Lino plays a pivotal role within Stray Kids.
So it's more of a vocal.
So Changbin is known as one of the strongest songwriters of K-pop, both physically and mentally. He's been in the industry for over 8 years, helping write 164 songs and push his group, Stray Kids, in the right direction. Changbin, born on August 11th, 1999, in Hyunjin, South Korea, spent much of his early life in Wiwang, a city located just out of Seoul. He attended Gama Elementary School, where he demonstrated strong leadership skills by serving as the school president during his 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade years. Even at a young age, Changbin showed a passion for music and performing. His dream of becoming a singer was sparked when he received praise after performing at his school's festival, which would lead him towards pursuing a career in music. This early encouragement played a crucial role in shaping his ambitions, giving him the confidence to dream big and work towards a future in the entertainment industry. Around that same time, Changbin received a plushie of the Pokemon Munchlax, which he affectionately named Gyu. This plushie became special to him, and even after his debut, he kept it close, often saying it helped him sleep. During his high school years, Changbin was involved in various sports, with swimming being one of his favorites. He particularly excelled in breaststroke, a style he became skilled in over time. His dedication paid off when he won a gold medal in breaststroke at a local competition in Wiwang, showcasing his athletic talents alongside his growing passion for music. In addition to swimming, Changbin developed a deep interest in dance during his high school years. He joined the dance club at Bora High School and eventually became the head of the club, further honing his skills. His talent and charisma made him quite popular at school, even leading to fan cams of his performances surfacing online before he had officially debuted. It was also during this time that Changbin began writing his own music. In 2016, he used his self-written songs as part of his audition for JYP Entertainment, marking the start of his journey to become a K-pop idol. Towards the end of 2016, Changbin teamed up with the fellow JYP trainees, Bangchan and Han, to form a hip-hop group called TRICIA RUTTA. The trio made their debut by releasing their first track, Intro, on YouTube and SoundCloud on February 1st, 2017. Throughout that year, TRICIA RUTTA continued to release EPs while balancing their rigorous training. However, on October 6, 2017, Changbin appeared in the music video for a different group, Stray Kids. The song, Elevator, became his first officially released track under JYP Entertainment. Just a week later, all 9 members of Stray Kids were officially revealed by the name. At that time, Changbin looked quite different from his current appearance, being much slimmer and less muscular than he is today. The 9 members of Stray Kids were set to compete in their own survival show, Stray Kids, where they were tasked with various missions to prove they had what it took to debut. In the first episode, Changbin revealed his love for darker aesthetics, such as wearing dark clothing and creating rap-infused music with a heavy, intense vibe. This performance became a recurring theme throughout the series, helping to shape his image as a powerful, dark rapper. In the third episode, the contestants were divided into 3 groups. each responsible for creating and performing a song. Changbin, who had already received high praise from JYP for his rapping skills, teamed up with Mino and Felix. Together, they wrote the song Glow, which they performed in the 4th episode. Despite their efforts, Mino was eliminated due to a mistake he made with the lyrics during their performance. This elimination deeply affected Changbin, not only because they lost a potential group member, but also because Mino was his friend. Changbin felt a strong sense of guilt, believing that as the team's leader, he had failed to support Mino enough during the process. For most of the series, Felix was at risk of elimination due to his limited rapping skills and short experience with Korean. His focus on the language affected his dancing, leading to a noticeable mistake in episode 8. Because of this, JYP decided Felix should continue training separately from Stray Kids, eliminating him from the group. With both Minho and Felix eliminated, Changbin felt responsible for their exits. However, his worries were eased the following week when JYP decided to give them another chance. On December 19th, live airing of the 10th episode of Stray Kids featured performances from both the full 9-member group and the remaining 7-member team. The audience overwhelmingly voted in favor of the 9-member group with 96% support, proving that Changbin had been a strong leader for Mino and Felix, despite JYP's earlier concerns. As Stray Kids prepared for their debut, Changbin continued his schooling and graduated from Bora High School on February 6, 2018. Just a month later, on March 25th, he made his debut with Stray Kids at Jongchon Arena, where the group performed their upcoming original songs, all written by Changbin and TRICIA. The next day, on March 26th, Stray Kids officially released their debut EP, I Am Not. 6 months later, on September 9th, Changbin showcased a brand new song with TRICIA titled Zone. Zone was an intense, darker style track, perfect to what Changbin enjoyed at the time. This song was seen as one of the first SKZ player tracks, later being released on December 21st of 2022 to streaming platforms. On February 20th, the following year, Changbin was featured on Yoonji Sung's EP, Aside, for the 5th track, You Like the Wind. This marked the first time any Stray Kids member had been featured on another artist's track. In the song, Changbin primarily delivered rap verses and also contributed to its writing. Just 2 days later, Yoonji Sung released a behind-the-scenes video showcasing Changbin's recording process and their interactions in the studio. Later that year, on December 19th, Changbin's first solo song was teased in a video on Muppley's YouTube channel, which featured upcoming Stray Kids tracks. The intro of Changbin's song was showcased, and its emotional tone was highlighted. Bang-chan even joked about a rumor that the song was so moving it brought all the JYP staff to tears. The track, Streetlight, was later released to YouTube as an SKZ player track on May 16th. Bang-chan, the leader of Stray Kids, was featured on his song, providing further vocals in the song. A music video was released with the track, however, only Changbin can be seen in the video, notably displaying him alone. Over the past few years, Changbin has gained a reputation for being both outspoken and someone who keeps much of his personal life private. He explores these contrasting feelings in his song Streetlight, where he raps about a character symbolizing his younger self. In the music video's description, Changbin includes a personal note offering insight into the meaning behind the song and how it reflects his inner struggles. So Changbin writes, "It's a song in which I use the lyrics to compare a person who suffers emotional pain and sorrow on his own, without telling anyone, who smiles and pretends like things are okay. This theme can be especially highlighted in both the intro and the chorus, where he sings, like a streetlight, at the end of a lonely day, standing vacantly in the middle of a lonely night, I try my best to smile brightly." Changbin continues with a revelation. If you ask someone for advice about your problems, even if the person can't resolve everything for you, just opening up about your feelings makes your heart rest a little easier. This piece of advice is completely avoided by the character in Streetlight, especially in the first verse, where he expresses, "I don't want anyone to see how incredibly weak I am. To the people who relied on me, that's a contradiction. Acting strong, acting like I'm not hurting, acting like nothing is wrong. I just want to be someone who gives strength to others. I can't be the reason that they lose strength." He continues, "To be honest, before I wrote this song, there was a time when I also really struggled on my own and wasn't able to tell anyone. But by writing those feelings into my lyrics and recording this song, I felt like I had shared them with someone, which gave me a sense of relief. I hope that the people who listen to this song will also find someone who will listen to what they have to say and empathize with their pain." With the creation and release of Streetlight, Changbin expresses his readiness to let go of his past beliefs. Through putting it into a song, he's saying that he's ready to change and become more open, facing his feelings with the support of those around him, rather than handling them alone. In the music video, a small leafless tree covered in dripping blue paint appears throughout, serving as more than just an artistic symbol. This imagery connects to a mental health initiative called the Blue Tree Project, which paints dead trees blue to raise awareness and encourage people to check in on loved ones. This visual metaphor ties directly to a line in Changbin's song, emphasizing the importance of emotional support and mental health. In the final lines of the first verse, he states, "I need someone before I collapse. Please ask me again if I'm okay. Somebody, anybody." A month later, on June 28th, Changbin was anonymously featured on the TV series King of Masked Singer, where he performs a mix of singing and rapping. In early fall, Stray Kids released their first repackaged album, In Life. The album includes tracks written by the group's various subunits, like 3 Ratcha, Dance Ratcha, and Vocal Ratcha. Changbin, alongside 3 Ratcha, wrote the song We Go. Additionally, he contributed to Vocal Ratcha's song My Universe, assisting with its writing. Following their new album, Changbin released another SKZ player song named Cypher. Cypher was released on October 23rd and featured a similar style to the tracks 3 Ratcha made prior to their debut. In 2021, Changbin continued to show his talent in songwriting and collaboration. On January 15th, he co-wrote and featured on IN's SKZ player track Maknae on Top, which quickly gained attention as a fan favorite. His songwriting contributions didn't stop there. On March 14th, Changbin co-wrote Because alongside Felix, blending their unique styles into a track that resonated with many listeners. Shortly after, on March 25th, which marked Stray Kids' 3-year debut anniversary, Changbin co-wrote Piece of a Puzzle with Seungmin, further solidifying his role in shaping the group's musical direction. As the year progressed, he joined up with Seungmin, Baekchan, and Felix to co-write Up All Night, a track released on June 19th that showcased their cohesive teamwork in crafting memorable songs for fans. 2 months later, Stray Kids released their second full-length album, No Easy, which also featured songs from various subunits. However, instead of the usual Ratcha units, Changbin reunited with his former Glow teammates, Lino and Felix. Together, they aimed to create a fun, summer-inspired track that held the feeling of being at the beach. This collaboration resulted in the song Surfin', which received its own music video in mid-September. The song's upbeat and lighthearted vibe marked a significant shift from the dark, intense style Changbin was once known for, reflecting his growth and willingness to open up and let others in. Later on October 28th, Changbin collaborated with 2 other artists, F-Hero and Millie. The 3 of them wrote the song Mirror Mirror, a rap-style song, proving that even though Changbin is aspiring to change, he's not choosing to distance himself from the darker music altogether. Stray Kids started 2022 with the release of a new mini-album on March 18th, just a week before their 4th anniversary. Continuing their tradition of subunit tracks, the group split into 2 teams for the album. One group of 4 members wrote the sentimental song Waiting for Us, while the other 4, including Changbin, worked on Muddy Water. Changbin collaborated with Hyunjin, Han, and Felix to write Muddy Water, which stood as a grand contrast to Waiting for Us. It featured a grittier, rap-heavy style with a strong vocal presence, showcasing a different side of the group's musical range. With the release of Ordinary, Changbin attracted significant attention from fans due to the noticeable changes in his physique. Over the past few years, he had been dedicating himself to intense gym workouts, which resulted in a more muscular build. This transformation drew considerable focus, especially since he was previously known as one of the slimmest and shortest members of Stray Kids. At the end of the summer, Changbin appeared as a guest MC on the music program Weekly Idol. 2 months later, on October 7th, Stray Kids released their mini-album, Maxident. The album continued the theme of featuring tracks from the various Ratcha units, with 3 Ratcha, Changbin's unit, writing the self-titled track 3 Ratcha. This song, styled as a drill rap, pays homage to their first song, Intro, by starting with Changbin's signature line,
1, 2, 3, Ratcha get spotlight,
which highlights their production unit's name and legacy. 5 days later, on October 12th, Changbin collaborated with his fellow label mates from NMIX. He joined members Hyunjin and Haewon in dancing to their new song, Dice, as a part of their Big Wave Challenge. The video gained significant attention for Changbin's faithful replication of choreography, avoiding the tendency among many male idols to alter or masculinize the moves. This showcased Changbin's growing willingness to move beyond the image of always needing to appear strong, embracing a more genuine and inclusive approach to performance. As 2022 was coming to a close, Stray Kids released a compilation album to streaming platforms featuring the members' project songs, like Changbin's Streetlight, Cypher, and his various collaboration tracks. Additionally, he wrote a brand new solo track, Doodle. The following year, Changbin continued his trend of dance collaborations with various girl groups. On April 10th, he teamed up with NMIX once more for their Love Me Like This challenge. In this video, he danced alongside Haewon and Jiwoo, once again staying true to the original choreography. This performance generated even more buzz than his previous collaboration, with many noting the striking contrast between Changbin's typically dark and muscular image and his energetic execution of a girl group's dance routine. On June 2nd, Stray Kids released their 3rd full-length album, 5 Star. With the release of their newest album, the members could be seen collaborating for each other's dance challenges. On June 9th, Changbin collaborated with Promise Nine's Seiram and Hayoung for their newest song, Me Now. Changbin is also known for his close friendship with ITZY member Chaeryeong. On June 14th, they filmed a dance video together for S-Class. The following day, Changbin collaborated with the Seraphims Chaewon and Sakura for a dance challenge to their trending song, Eve Psych and the Bluebeard's Wife. The day after, on June 16th, he filmed another dance challenge, this time to G-Idol's latest track, Queen Card, joining the group's leader and fellow producer, Soyeon, for the performance. Following his performance with Soyeon, he and Bang Chan both performed Queen Card live for fans at their third annual fan meeting on July 1st and 2nd. On June 24th, Changbin returned as a guest MC, this time for the music program, Show Music Core. On August 22nd, he collaborated again with his friend Chaeryeong to film a dance challenge for ITZY's latest track, Cake. Later, on September 1st, Changbin contributed to Samsung's ad campaign for the Galaxy Z Flip 5 with a solo track titled Fly High. The song, which he wrote and performed, was accompanied by a music video released on September 13th. 2 months later, on November 10th, Stray Kids released Rockstar, leading to more songs with Changbin's iconic dancing style. His first performance, on November 18th, was with Kiss of Life's Natty for their song, Bad News. The following day, he filmed a video with BBG's Sin B for their song, Maniac. A fitting collaboration, as Stray Kids too have a song named Maniac. His final dance collaboration was on December 5th with NMIX's Hyunjin, in which he danced to their song, Sonar. On February 8th of the new year, Changbin teamed up with G-Idol's Soyeon once again to dance to their new song, Super Lady. Later in the year, he was featured on the cover of W Korea for their June issue, marking the first time he appeared solo on a magazine cover. This highlighted his rising recognition beyond just his songwriting skills. The following month, Stray Kids made their comeback with 8 and the title track, Chick Chick Boom. On July 21st, Changbin collaborated with G-Idol's Mion to film dance challenges for both Chick Chick Boom and Klaxon. 9 days later, on July 30th, Changbin was featured on Chaeryeong's interview series. With his interview appearance, the two of them filmed a dance challenge for Stray Kids' song, Chick Chick Boom. Changbin participated in another collaboration on October 15th, coming together with girl group ITZY to write They. We've seen him grow through the past years, and we can be certain he will continue pushing himself to grow and change to be more emotionally open with the people around him. Hwang Hyunjin may be known for his stunning visuals, but there's so much more to him than his appearance. Over his 9 years in the industry, he's proven himself as a dynamic dancer and a versatile vocalist. Hyunjin was born on March 20th, 2000, and grew up mainly in Seoul, South Korea. For a short time during his childhood, he lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the United States. While living there, he went by the English name Sam and picked up some of the English language. However, he only stayed in Las Vegas for less than a year before returning to Seoul. While living in Seoul, Hyunjin attended Seungmin Middle School. In 2015, during a shopping trip with his mother, a recruiter from JYP Entertainment approached him and invited him to audition, handing him a business card. Initially, Hyunjin thought the recruiter was a fraud, but after researching the recruiter's name, he realized it was legitimate. Despite having no prior experience, Hyunjin decided to give the audition a try. He passed the audition and was invited to become a trainee at JYP Entertainment. Around this time, Hyunjin also adopted a dog named Kami. While training at JYP Entertainment, he continued his education at the School of Performing Arts in Seoul, a high school known for producing many K-pop idols. Some notable alumni include his future group mate, IN, BTS's Jungkook, and his classmate, Lee Dae-hui from AB6. As he watched his senior trainees dancing, he found himself infatuated with dance, pushing him to study harder at SOPA. In late 2017, Hyunjin was announced as one of the contestants on Mnet's survival show, Stray Kids. In the third episode, JYP criticized his rapping, especially his pronunciation, saying his words were slurred and hard to understand. This put Hyunjin at risk of elimination. The 9 Stray Kids members were instructed to form groups of 3 and help those at risk improve for their next performance. Hyunjin teamed up with Bang Chan and Seungmin, performing the song 4419 in episode 4. During this time, Hyunjin practices rapping and performance daily. His hard work paid off when JYP praised his improvement, saying his rapping had gotten significantly better. With this, Hyunjin was no longer at risk and continued competing in the show. Hyunjin's debut wasn't guaranteed yet, as he faced the risk of elimination again in the 8th episode. JYP once more criticized his rapping and stage presence, expressing difficulty in seeing what made him special. Despite these critiques, Hyunjin was given another chance to continue. On December 19th, in the 10th episode, Hyunjin performed live along with the other contestants, and all 9 members were ultimately allowed to debut as Stray Kids. Hyunjin officially debuted on March 25th, 2018, with Stray Kids, performing songs from their debut EP at Jangchung Arena. The mini-album, titled I Am Not, was released the next day. Hyunjin took on 2 roles within the group, main dancer and sub-rapper. As a main dancer, he joined fellow members Lino and Felix to form the dance unit, Dance Rutcha. The trio later choreographed and performed for an SKZ Player video on August 26th, where Hyunjin showcased his sharp, powerful, and expressive dance style, a style he is still praised for today. On February 15th, 2019, Hyunjin graduated from Seoul School of Performing Arts, where he specialized in practical dance, a skill that would prove invaluable in his career. The next day, he became a fixed MC for the music program Show Music Core. Hyunjin continued as an MC throughout 2019 and later joined a project group formed by the TV network KBS. The group, called OOs, also known as Bongbongs, included 4 members: Hyunjin of Stray Kids, Yoonsan Ha of Astro, P.O.Box of Golden Child, and his former classmate Lee Dae-hui of AB6. These members were selected because they shared 3 things in common. They were all MCs on music shows, they graduated in the same year, and they were all close friends. Their first special stage performance took place on December 20th, where they performed a cover of GOT7's song, Just Right. Through this performance, Hyunjin showcased his dance and vocal abilities, again emphasizing that he is more than a visual idol. In their performance, Hyunjin stood out for his charisma and stage presence, even when performing alongside idols from other groups. In 2020, Stray Kids released a digital single titled Mixtape On Track to mark the 2-year anniversary of their debut. The release included a music video that revolved around the theme of longing for someone's love. The video featured Hyunjin and Lino as the main characters, portraying classmates competing for the affection of the same girl. As one of the leads, Hyunjin had the opportunity to showcase his acting skills, adding another talent to his growing list of skills. On May 9th, 2020, Hyunjin released an SKZ Player performance featuring a dance he choreographed to Billie Eilish's song, When the Party's Over. This performance highlighted his impressive dance skills once again. While Billie Eilish described the song as more of an angry mood than a sad one, Hyunjin interpreted it differently, expressing his own emotions through the choreography. This personal connection made the performance feel more authentic, as the emotions he conveyed were entirely his own, adding depth to his artistry. In the video's description, Hyunjin provides a comment into what both the song and the choreography meant to him. He writes, "I created the choreography for this song while remembering my most difficult times. First of all, the reason I chose this song was because I was looking for a song that best suited the 3 themes of emptiness, despair, and longing. And I thought that the emptiness at the end of the party was the same feeling as the loneliness when returning home after going on a big stage and missing it. Because I miss it. I tried to express my emotions as best as I could, and I hope I was able to convey them." Towards the end of his note, he mentions how he is currently missing performing. At the time of its release, the world had been in a quarantine lockdown for a few months now. Not being able to perform anymore after it being a core point of his life that he adored must have been incredibly hard on him, and we can see that through his performance. All of this comes together to show Hyunjin is way more than a dancer, he's an artist. His ability to translate those emotions into a dance that millions of people can feel and relate to is incredible. The following month, Bongbongs reunited for another special performance. On June 26th, the group, including Hyunjin, delivered a vocally challenging cover of Red Velvet's song, Psycho. This performance has since become one of KBS's most watched videos, achieving over 31 million views in 4 years. In the cover, Hyunjin takes on the difficult pre-chorus, hitting an impressive high note, a feat that's challenging even for the original singers, and especially difficult for a male idol. With this performance, Hyunjin further showcased his ability to collaborate with other idols and highlighted his vocal talent, adding to his growing list of skills. Towards the end of 2020, Hyunjin released his first SKZ Player song, titled Miss You, on December 21st. Just 9 days later, on December 30th, Hyunjin performed a dance cover of Taemin's song, Criminal. Taemin, a member of the second-gen K-pop group, SHINee, has focused heavily on his solo career in recent years, showcasing his exceptional dancing skills with each release. Hyunjin's performance of Criminal highlighted his own impressive dance abilities, showing that he has reached a performance level compared to the high standards set by Taemin. As 2021 began, Hyunjin stepped down from his role as MC for Show Music Core after serving for almost 2 years. Around the same time, in mid-February, Hyunjin faced accusations of bullying classmates during middle school. On February 22nd, one accuser posted online claiming that Hyunjin and a few classmates had added her to a group chat where they insulted her and her family. JYP Entertainment responded quickly, announcing on February 23rd that they would investigate the situation and take legal action against any false claims. Later that day, a second accuser came forward, alleging that Hyunjin had bullied her too, mocking her for her weight. In total, 4 people came forward, all accusing Hyunjin of verbal harassment. A few days later, 3 of Hyunjin's accusers revealed that JYP Entertainment had contacted them, with 2 mentioning they were invited to meet with the company, possibly along with Hyunjin. On February 26th, JYP Entertainment announced the results of their investigation. They confirmed that Hyunjin had met with the alleged victims, and although their recollections of the events differed, Hyunjin sincerely apologized. The accusers he met accepted his apology and expressed support support for him going forward. Following this, Hyunjin posted a handwritten apology on Instagram. The next day, on February 27th, JYP Entertainment announced that Hyunjin would be taking a hiatus from his activities to reflect on himself, and his schedule will be temporarily suspended. There's a lot of information available regarding Hyunjin's bullying accusations, and if you want a definitive answer about whether the accusations were true, I encourage you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. What I can say for sure is that JYP Entertainment made the decision for Hyunjin to go on hiatus, regardless of his innocence. These claims stem from events that allegedly occurred 6 years earlier, and during that time, it's clear that Hyunjin has grown and matured. A little less than a month later, Alesso, a Swedish music producer, released a remix of his song, Going Dumb, which features Stray Kids. Despite the song releasing during Hyunjin's hiatus, he sang a few lines on the song. Later, on April 1st, Stray Kids was featured in Mnet's reality TV series, Kingdom Legendary War. This series was pre-recorded, allowing Hyunjin to participate in the first episode. However, he cannot be seen in any other episodes than the first. Hyunjin's hiatus officially ended on June 26th, where he appeared in a music video for Stray Kids' newest mixtape track, Mixtape O. His hiatus stretched nearly 4 months, lasting a total of 119 days. The following month, on July 9th, Hyunjin released a self-choreographed dance cover of Sam Tonet's song, Play With Fire. The performance showcased his signature style, with sharp, popping movements in almost every step, highlighting his exceptional dancing skills once again. A few weeks later, the Stray Kids YouTube channel posted a behind-the-scenes video of Bangchan and Hyunjin brainstorming for their collaboration track, Red Lights, which appeared on Stray Kids' second full-length album, No Easy. The duo released a music video for Red Lights on September 13th, and it has since become both the most viewed video and the most viewed music video on Stray Kids' official YouTube channel. 3 days later, Hyunjin was featured with his fellow Dance Fashion members for Etro's luxury fashion campaign. The video featured his dancing too, making Hyunjin a fitting choice for the shoe company. The following month, Hyunjin was selected to be Studio Choom's Artist of the Month. Hyunjin performed a dance cover of Post Malone's song, Motley Crue. While he himself didn't choreograph this performance, he successfully demonstrated his body control and growing dance skills through the performance. A few days later, on October 22nd, Studio Choom released a behind-the-scenes video featuring Hyunjin's thought process behind why he chose the song he did, as well as the filming of the performance. On December 8th, Hyunjin was featured in Marie Claire, Korea for a pictorial and interview, marking one of his first solo photo shoots and highlighting his growing popularity as an idol. During this interview, Hyunjin showcased another one of his talents, drawing. Known as one of the most artistic members of Stray Kids, he frequently shares his paintings and drawings on the group's Instagram, and later on his personal account as well. His artistic abilities have become a distinctive part of his image, further diversifying his creative skills beyond music and dance. 2022 was a bit of a barrier for Hyunjin. He was featured on Days Korea for a pictorial on February 3rd. Late into the year, on August 13th, Hyunjin released an SKZ record track titled Ice Cream. A few months later, on October 7th, Stray Kids released a mini-album, Maxident. The album featured a song written by the 3 members of Dance Ratcha. The song is a performance-heavy track, allowing Hyunjin and the members of Dance Ratcha to display their skills through it. The song, Taste, is the second most played track of the album, only following behind the title track, Case 143. Hyunjin wrapped up 2022 with a performance on December 18th. JYP Entertainment brought together 8 of their artists for a performance at KBS Song Festival, those being 3 artists from Stray Kids, 2 from ITZY, and 2 from MX. Altogether, they made up the team JYP Nation, and while Hyunjin doesn't perform vocally, his presence can still be felt throughout through his dance. The following year, Hyunjin was again featured for a pictorial, this time with Esquire Korea. The photo shoot was sponsored by the luxury brand Cartier, who saw the pictorial as a marketing opportunity, dressing Hyunjin in their jewelry. There were 2 parts to the pictorial, with the first set of photos releasing on May 22nd and the second set on the 24th. On May 25th, Hyunjin was featured on Esquire Korea's YouTube channel for an interview. On the same day, he attended an event hosted by Versace, another luxury brand like Cartier. He sat in as a guest for the Dua Lipa x Versace La Vacanza 2023 event in Italy. While at the event, he met with the British pop singer Dua Lipa, who had participated in designing outfits for the event. Additionally, he met the Australian dance pop artist Troye Sivan, who was a guest at the show like him. Troye appreciated Hyunjin for his vast artistic abilities, most notably dancing and singing. With the praise, he mentioned that he would love to collaborate with Hyunjin in the future. The following month, Hyunjin was featured on the cover of Esquire Korea for their June issue. Later, on July 11th, he attended Versace's La Vacanza pop-up store in Seoul. Just 9 days later, on July 20th, Versace announced Hyunjin as one of the new global brand ambassadors. Being an ambassador for a luxury brand is nothing new for K-pop idols, but a global ambassador is incredibly rare. Not often do brands put their trust in K-pop idols to help them sell as a model globally. On August 2nd, Hyunjin opened his personal Instagram account, where he frequently shares his artworks through posts and gives fans a glimpse of his creative process through live streams. While his art style is difficult to categorize, they stand out for Hyunjin's unique interpretations of objects and people. 16 days later, on August 18th, he released a brand new SKZ record track, Contradicting. With the release of his new song, he posted an image of a drawing he made surrounding the themes of the song. Towards the end of the month, on August 31st, Troye Sivan followed up on his collaboration interest, with Hyunjin being featured on a remix of Troy's newest dance pop single, Rush. A few months later, on November 6th, Hyunjin appeared on Harper's Bazaar Japan's YouTube channel, where he went shopping at the Tokyo Ginza Versace store. This video served as a promotion for Versace's holiday campaign, titled Hyunjin for Versace Holiday. Shortly after, on November 10th, he was featured on the digital cover of Harper's Bazaar Korea for their December issue, sponsored by Versace. Following the release of Stray Kids' mini-album, Rockstar, Hyunjin collaborated with Taemin on November 11th to film dance challenges for both Stray Kids' song, La 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 La, and Taemin's song, Guilty. This collaboration highlighted Hyunjin's growth as a dancer, performing alongside an idol he has long admired. Later in November, Hyunjin appeared again on Harper's Bazaar's Korean YouTube channel, followed by a pictorial and interview for Harper's Bazaar's Korea. On November 24th, he attended the Love Your W red carpet event hosted by W Korea, where he was seen alongside renowned idols such as BTS's RM and Blackpink's Jennie. On the 1st of December, Rolling Stone UK published an interview with Hyunjin, where editor Joseph Kakarian referred to him as the Prince of Versace, highlighting his role as a brand ambassador. Just a few days later, on December 4th, Hyunjin was featured on IN's SKZ record track, Untitled. In early 2024, Hyunjin's presence in both the fashion and music scenes continued to grow. He attended the VIP premiere of the Korean film, Dog Days, on January 29th, and later appeared at Versace's Milan Fashion Week 2024 Fall and Winter event on February 25th as an honorary guest. Following that, Hyunjin released two SKZ record tracks, Long For You on March 14th and Hey You on March 16th, showcasing both his musical and artistic talents with a painting for the cover art of Long For You. A few days later, on March 19th, he released a vlog documenting his Milan Fashion Week experience, where Donatella Versace presented him with a crown, calling him the Prince of Versace. A few days after Hyunjin's vlog, W Korea announced that he would be featured on their April digital cover, sponsored by the luxury fragrance brand,
Everyone
Killian
wants
Paris. On March 29th, Hyunjin appeared on W Korea's YouTube channel to promote the digital cover. The following month, he was featured on the cover of Elle Korea's May issue, this time sponsored by Cartier. Alongside this cover shoot, Hyunjin also participated in an interview for Elle Korea's YouTube channel. In late April, Hyunjin made notable appearances at two major events. On April 25th, he attended the Killian Paris Korea pop-up store, where he met Killian Hennessy. 5 days later, on April 30th, Hyunjin was invited to Cartier's High Jewelry Gala Dinner, an exclusive event attended by prominent figures, including Blackpink's Jisoo and actor Toyu. His involvement with both Killian Paris and Cartier further solidified his standing as a luxury brand ambassador. On July 19th, Stray Kids released their mini-album, 8, marking the beginning of the Dominate World Tour. The tour kicked off in Seoul, South Korea on August 24th, where Hyunjin unveiled a custom outfit designed specifically for him by Donatella Versace, a great mix of brand endorsement and performance. On the same day, Versace released a behind-the-scenes video showing Hyunjin and Donatella's meeting as they discussed her designs and began fitting the outfits. This collaboration highlighted how much Versace values Hyunjin's roles as a global ambassador, consistently showing their appreciation for his support. A few weeks later, on September 12th, Cartier announced Hyunjin as their newest brand ambassador, praising his striking visuals and charismatic presence. This partnership was quickly followed up by an announcement from Esquire Korea, revealing that Hyunjin would grace the cover of their October issue, featuring him as the face of his new sponsor, Cartier. These brand collaborations further cemented Hyunjin's reputation as a prominent figure in luxury fashion. On September 20th, he was invited to Versace's newest fashion show, where he was dressed head to toe in the brand's clothing. Over the past 9 years, he has proven that he's more than just a visual for Stray Kids. With his incredible dance abilities and impressive vocal range, Hyunjin stands out as one of the most valuable idols in K-pop today.
Couldn't say
Hwan Ji-sung stands out in Stray Kids for his remarkable versatility, effortlessly mastering every role in the group. Whether that's his quick raps or emotional vocals, he assists in the success of Stray Kids greatly. Born on September 14, 2000, Ji-sung lived in South Korea for his early life. However, in 2009, his father believed it would be good for Ji-sung to have a wider knowledge about the world and be more open-minded, where he and his family moved to Malaysia. Because of this, he didn't attend regular schooling there for very long, opting for homeschooling instead. Due to his schooling situation, he grew up very very curious about what standard public schooling was like. That curiosity helped drive him to being in love with TV dramas later in his life. 6 years later, in 2015, Han moved to South Korea and promised his parents that he would pass an audition with an entertainment company within a year. If he didn't succeed, he agreed to return to Malaysia. As part of this deal, he also committed to passing all 3 levels of the Korean qualification exam. That way he would be set up for college applications if he didn't pass any of his auditions. While in South Korea, Han trained at DEF Company, honing his dance, singing, and especially his rapping skills. During his time there, he decided to take a chance and audition for JYP Entertainment with a friend. He performed a rap for the audition, which was a success. JYPE invited him for a final audition, and after that, they offered him a spot as a trainee. Towards the end of 2016, Han, along with fellow trainees Chris and Changbin, formed a hip-hop unit called TRICIA. The 3 began collaborating on music, each showcasing their unique rapping skills. Not long after, on January 18th, 2017, they released their first track, Intro, on SoundCloud, followed by its release on YouTube on February 1st. Throughout the year, TRICIA continued to release new songs roughly every 2 weeks, 1 original song and 1 cover song, where they placed their own lyrics on existing beats. Late in the year, on October 17th, Han participated in Mnet's new survival show, Stray Kids, where 9 trainees competed in various missions to earn a spot in the final debut lineup. Han, going by the name Jisung during the show, was introduced as part of the production and rap unit alongside his fellow 3RACHA members. Throughout the show's 10 episodes, Jisung consistently impressed JYP Entertainment's chief creative officer, Park Jin-young, who notably praised his vocal abilities. Despite being primarily known as a rapper, Jisung's strong singing skills surprised JYP. During the 3rd episode, Jisung was given the opportunity to help another contestant, Jongin, improve his vocals. JYP instructed the trainees to split into groups of 3, and Jisung, along with Woojin, worked closely with Jongin to assist him in enhancing his singing skills. The 3 of them came together to write lyrics for the song, School Life, a song about the life of someone in the Korean schooling system, an ironic theme for Han the homeschooler. Jisung has stated that the feelings and ideas he poured into the song came from those he saw through his friends, like Changbin, as well as TV dramas and films. This lack of true experience adds to his own songwriting skills, being able to not only write about another person's experiences, but also write about it in a way that listeners could relate to. School Life was later performed in the 4th episode, in which Jongin demonstrated his vocal skills again. With the new performance, JYP praised his improvement, displaying both Jisung and Woojin's abilities in coaching their fellow trainees' vocals. Jisung successfully made it through the entire show, never once being put at risk of elimination. It was clear that JYP was more than impressed by his wide range of skills as just a trainee. To commemorate their first song, 3RACHA released another song to SoundCloud on January 18th, 2018, the 1-year anniversary of Intro. The song, Start Line, would be one of the last songs uploaded to the 3RACHA account. A few months later, Jisung debuted under the stage name Han, being the only member of the group to use his surname as his stage name. Han officially debuted on March 25th, 2018, alongside his fellow 3RACHA members, Bangchan and Changbin. Together, they formed a core of Stray Kids' songwriting and production team. The day after their debut, Stray Kids released their first album, I'm Not, on March 26th, 2018, where Han was credited for writing 6 of the 7 tracks. Additionally, the album included an exclusive secret song only available on the physical CD, Mixtape Number 1. This song was a reworked version of a track Han had previously released with 3RACHA called Placebo, which originally came out on October 25th, 2017. On August 6th, 2018, Stray Kids released their second mini-album, I Am Who, which featured another hidden track, Mixtape Number 2. Unlike their previous hidden song, this track was a reworked version of one of 3RACHA's earlier cover songs. While the lyrics remained mostly the same, the song was given a completely new melody and style, reflecting the evolution of their music since their time as 3RACHA. A month later, on September 9th, Han and 3RACHA released an SKZ Player performance their new song, Zone. With this special performance, Jisung was able to demonstrate his rapping abilities again, even reuniting with his original crew. A little over a month later, Stray Kids released their conclusion to the I Am series, I Am You. Included on the physical version was another hidden track, titled Mixtape Number 3. This track was an original song of 3RACHA's, originally released on November 20th, 2017, under the name For You. On March 25th, 2019, exactly 1 year after their debut, Stray Kids began a new album series with the release of Clay 1 Miro. This album included the next hidden mixtape track, Mixtape Number 4, a reworked version of 3RACHA's song, Broken Compass, which had been released just before their survival show began. The album also featured a track titled 19, which Han wrote the lyrics of entirely himself. further highlighting his songwriting talent. In 19, Han reflects on his teenage years, expressing the bittersweet feelings of wanting time to slow down. He once wished for those years to pass quickly, but now feels nostalgic and even wishes they would disappear so he could stay in them longer. Although 19 was released in 2019, when Han would have officially turned 20 by Korean age standards, the song reveals this emotional connection to his teen years, showing how deeply he wanted to hold on to that time of his life. On March 31st, Stray Kids made their first appearance on the popular Korean TV show King of Masked Singer. Surprisingly, the first member to participate wasn't one of their main vocalists, but Han, who is primarily known as a rapper. On the show, Han performed 2 songs, a vocal performance of Me After You, and a rap performance of Half Moon. His participation showcased his versatility, proving that he not only excels in rapping, but also as a singer. On June 19th, Stray Kids released Clay 2 Yellow Wood, the second album in the Clay series. Unlike their previous albums, this one didn't feature a hidden track on the physical version, instead compiling all of TRICIA's reworked mixtape songs. Later, on October 10th, Han appeared as a guest MC on Show Music Core. Just 18 days later, JYP Entertainment announced that Kim Woo-jin, one of Stray Kids' main vocalists, would be leaving the group due to personal reasons. Following Woo-jin's departure, Han, along with several other members, stepped up to fill the gap left in the group's vocal lineup. Despite his new singing responsibilities, Han remained focused on his songwriting. He was the only member of 3RACHA to contribute to the writing of the 6th track on their next album, Play the Banter. The song, titled Sunshine, reflects Han's thoughts on life in the bustling city of Seoul. He emphasizes the importance of taking breaks and finding moments of peace, encouraging everyone to rest and enjoy the warmth of the sunshine. About a week after Levanter's release, Han was advised to take a hiatus due to him experiencing symptoms of anxiety in front of large crowds. It may seem like Jisung can do just about anything, but at the end of the day, he's still human and has his own struggles. With this hiatus, he lived up the message of sunshine, proving it truly is okay to take rest when it gets hard. The following year, on January 18th, Han and 3RACHA released their final song on SoundCloud, titled Carpe Diem. Though it was a very short track, lasting only 50 seconds, Han used the brief time to showcase his quick rapping skills. The song's title, Carpe Diem, is a Latin phrase that means seize the day or pluck the day. Through this song, Han expresses his desire to live in the present, marking a shift from his reflective, nostalgic themes he explored in Clay 1 Miro with the track 19, where he focused on holding on to that past. Now, with Carpe Diem, Han embraces a forward-looking mindset. A few months later, Stray Kids was set to release an opening and ending song for the Japanese anime series Tower of God. The opening song, Top, released to digital streaming platforms on April 28th, with the ending song, Slump, releasing a little over a week later on May 6th. Han is credited for writing the entirety of the lyrics for Slump, likely originally in Korean, and from there, KM Market assisted in translating the lyrics to Japanese. In an interview with Rolling Stone UK, Han speaks of the importance of Slump to him. He says in the interview, "It's a song that I wrote in a moment in my life when I was facing some difficulties, so it has a good meaning for me." The song, Slump, was recorded in 3 languages, Japanese, Korean, and English. Han discusses this, where he emphasizes how important he sees it, as it makes him feel he can touch even more people with the song. 2 days later, on May 8th, Han released his first SKZ Player song, Close, which he wrote all the lyrics of. In the music video description, Han shared insights into the inspiration behind the song. He explained that the idea came from a scene in the 2004 film, Closer, where 2 characters lock eyes on the street and feel an inexplicable attraction and excitement towards each other as strangers. This moment of connection sparked the concept for Close, showcasing Han's ability to draw creative inspiration from films and translate it into music. The following month, Stray Kids released their first full-length album, Go Live, featuring 14 tracks. Han wrote the lyrics for 2 of the songs, the previously released Slump, and a new track titled Another Day. On July 20th, Han collaborated with Lino to write a short duet song called Ice Americano. The following month, on August 23rd, Han performed a cover of Day 6's song, Congratulations, with Stray Kids' main vocalist, Seungmin. Through this cover, Han once again showcased his vocal abilities, proving that he was not only a skilled rapper, but also a capable singer who could harmonize with one of the group's best vocalists. On November 6th, Han released another SKZ record track titled I Got It, with lyrics written entirely by him. The song prominently featured his impressive rapping skills. On December 31st, Han participated in a special performance alongside ITZY's Leah and the boys' Juyeon. This performance gave Han a chance to display his rap abilities in a different setting, away from his usual Stray Kids members. With just 3 performers on stage, Han also showcased his dance skills. While the choreography wasn't overly complex, his presence and energy allowed him to stand out during the performance. Han began 2021 with several SKZ Player releases, starting with his song, Alien, on January 31st. The track begins with two notable quotes from animated films, Pixar's 2007 movie, Ratatouille, and Walt Disney's Zootopia. The first quote is from Ratatouille, where Remy says, "The only thing predictable about life is its unpredictability." The second quote is from Zootopia's city motto, "Anyone can be anything, you can be everything." While these quotes seem to be spoken by an external voice in the song, when the pitch is adjusted, it's revealed that Han himself voiced them. Listen to this.
The only thing predictable about life is unpredictable ability. Anyone can be anything. You can be everything.
This subtle detail highlights that Han is delivering these uplifting messages to himself, encouraging perseverance and reminding himself to push forward in pursuit of his dreams. A few months later, Han released another SKZ Player song titled Wish You Back, which he wrote all the lyrics for himself. Inspired by the 2016 film, Your Name, the song imagines an alternate bittersweet ending, differing from the film's happy ending. Han's creative reinterpretation highlights his ability to reimagine narratives and draw inspiration from the media he consumes. Additionally, Makoto Shinkai, director of Your Name, noticed Han's work and publicly praised the song, calling it beautiful. On July 7th, Han, Seungmin, and Ian appeared in a short video series where they brainstormed ideas for their unit track, Gone Away. In the video, Han shared that he once struggled with feeling insecure about his voice, believing that it was too sharp and thin. However, recording regularly for 3ROCH's early songs and performing on Stray Kids' guide tracks helped him learn to appreciate his unique vocal quality. Seungmin even noted that Han's voice sets him apart, allowing him to establish his own distinctive sound. Gone Away was later released on August 23rd as part of Stray Kids' second full-length album, No Easy. Around the same time No Easy released, Han could be seen wearing an eye patch often due to picking up a sty, likely from bacteria on colored lenses he would wear or frequent use of makeup as an idol. Shortly after his recovery, he adopted a dog named Tama. The following year, on February 9th, 2022, he teamed up with Seungmin to cover another Day 6 song, Zombie. Jisung contributed his voice to the cover through his singing and melodic rap style. The following month, Han was again featured as a guest MC on Show Music Core on March 26th. On October 11th, shortly after the release of Maxident, Han appeared on the Lee Moojin's service show where he performed a jazz-influenced cover of Stray Kids' song, Case 143, along with 3 other covers. During the show, he shared that his father used to be in a rock band in his youth, which sparked Han's own interest in rock and related genres. Just 11 days later, on October 22nd, Han returned as a guest MC on Show Music Core, further showcasing his versatility and presence in various roles beyond performing with Stray Kids. On December 18th, Han participated in JYP Nation's 2022 performance, where he had a brief part but earned praise for his distinct vocal tone and line delivery, impressing both fans and casual viewers alike. He also performed alongside Dance Rocha members Hyunjin and Felix. Though the choreography was relatively simple, Han demonstrated his ability to keep pace with the skilled dancers, ensuring that he stood out positively while complimenting their performances. On February 3rd, 2023, Han and the other 3ROCH members were promoted to regular members of Korea's Music Copyright Association, making Han the youngest K-pop idol to achieve this status. Currently, he has writing credits on 163 songs, placing him among the highest-ranking K-pop idols in songwriting credits. Additionally, Han contributed to writing Paradise for the Japanese girl group Need You. The track was featured as the theme song for Doraemon's Nobita Sky Utopia in 2023 and became the first 3ROCH-produced song to reach #1 on the Billboard Japan Hot 100. On May 18th, Stray Kids teased their upcoming third album, 5 Star, by revealing a track titled Top Line. This song immediately garnered attention for featuring the iconic Korean rapper and producer, Tiger JK, who Han has admired as both a role model and inspiration throughout his life. In Top Line, Han follows Tiger JK's verse, showcasing a skill level that holds its own alongside his idol. Additionally, Tiger JK even appeared in the music video, where fans saw Han visibly thrilled at the chance to meet and collaborate with someone he has looked up to for years. On 5 Star, Han serves as a primary writer for 2 tracks, Get Lit and Collision. While Get Lit delivers an intense, aggressive hip-hop sound, Collision explores the vulnerability of pleading to save a relationship. Collision showcases Han's romantic side, using planets to describe the feeling of being left behind in love. Whether or not these emotions are personal, Han's ability to display them through his songwriting makes them deeply relatable and impactful. On August 13th, Seungmin released an SKZ record track titled Hold On, with Han credited as the sole lyricist. Later, on October 15th, Han teamed up with Lino to perform a duet titled Want So Bad. On December 31st, Han, along with Stray Kids, performed Top Line alongside Tiger JK. This performance was more than substantial for Han, as he went from merely admiring Tiger JK to rapping on the same song to even performing live with him. The following year, on March 8th, Han released the SKZ record track 13. The lyrics of 13 speak of reminiscing on the past and longing for what once was. The song was inspired by the exchange couple So Dong-jin and Sung Dong-hye, who got back together. Exchange is a Korean reality TV series in which 5 single men and 5 single women participated with their ex-lovers. The series revolves around the theme of trying to either get back together with their ex-lover or find a new romance. On March 25th, 2024, Han opened his personal Instagram account where he's previously shared short covers of various songs. Some of his notable covers include Steven Sanchez's Until I Found You, Dean Lewis's How Do I Say Goodbye, and The Walters' I Love You So. Through these covers, Han continues to showcase his musical talents, especially his guitar playing skills. In several of his covers, like Until I Found You, Oh We Got soundtrack song, A Little Girl, and I-Bomb's Do You Want to Say Love, he performs while playing guitar. On April 27th, Han released an SKZ player track featuring Bae from NMIX. In the song, the two sing about feelings of isolation in the sense that time is passing too quickly. Shortly after, Han made his solo debut in the fashion world with a feature on the cover of W Korea's June issue, wearing pieces from the French luxury brand Balmain. This was his first solo magazine shoot, marking a milestone as it was sponsored by a high-end brand. On July 19th, Stray Kids released their mini-album, 8. The 6th track, Twilight, was predominantly written by Han, and like many of his other songs, centers around themes of longing and emptiness. Twilight became Han's first solo song to enter Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart, where it debuted at number 10. Only 3 other tracks from 8 charted here alongside Twilight: the title track, Chick Chick Boom, Jam, and Mountains. Stray Kids was featured on the cover of Rolling Stone UK for their September issue. As a part of this feature, the magazine individually interviewed Han, where they published an article online claiming Han to be both an all-rounder, but more specifically, the all-rounder of Stray Kids. Through his years of both TRICIA RUTTA and Stray Kids, Han has shown an incredible range of talent and creativity, where he has revealed his softer, romantic side along the way. Felix Lee is widely recognized in K-pop for his deep voice, which has played a key role in his success. Beyond his unique vocal tone, Felix also stands out for his presence in the fashion industry and his impressive dance skills. Felix was born in Australia on September 15th, 2000. His grandfather chose his middle name, Youngbook, which he would later use as his Korean name. Felix grew up in the Sydney area, leading him to develop freckles on his face from the strong rays of the sun. He participated in Taekwondo while he was growing up, studying the martial arts for 12 years. On top of learning Taekwondo, he also competed in tournaments, where he earned a total of 63 medals. During the upper half of his childhood, he began taking dance classes. While he was studying at the dance school, he was scouted by a woman from JYP Entertainment, who later reached out to Felix through a direct message on Facebook. She invited him to a shooting, however, Felix wasn't sure what to think of it. His boss from the dance academy advised him to take up her offer and attend the shooting. Felix successfully passed JYP Entertainment's auditions and was invited to join the company. He moved to South Korea and officially joined on February 24th, 2017. Since the Korean language, Hangul, lacks the character for the F sound in his name, he was often called Felix. To adapt, he started using his middle name, Youngbook, which was given to him by his grandfather, and went by Youngbook, a name that fit more naturally in Korean. Despite his choice, JYP Entertainment wasn't supportive, as Youngbook is now considered an old-fashioned or hillbilly name in Korea, something Felix was unaware of. With his strong background in dance and Taekwondo, Felix's training period was relatively short before he appeared as a JYP trainee. On August 22nd, he performed with 8 other trainees at JYP's Homecoming Showcase under the temporary group name Male Project Team. Just over a month later, they reappeared as Stray Kids and released their first music video on YouTube on October 6th. 11 days later, Felix appeared on a JYP and Mnet survival show called Stray Kids. Throughout the show, he faced frequent criticism, particularly for his Korean skills, which impacted his rapping. Having only been in South Korea for a few months, his Korean was still limited. In the 3rd episode, Felix lost a bet and had to order food for his unit mates, Lino and Changbin. They encouraged him to practice his Korean by ordering chicken from the restaurant himself. Though he struggled, he successfully placed the order and picked up the food. On December 5th, in the 8th episode, Stray Kids were tasked to perform a live busking performance. Additionally, JYP sent out 2 scouts, 2PM's Jun K and producer Rado, to judge their performance from the crowd. Leading up to their performance, Felix was feeling overly nervous as he had previously been on watch from JYP for elimination. Those nerves led him to consistently make mistakes in both his rap and dance during their practices. While performing their new song, Ya Ya Ya, at their busking event, Felix unfortunately made a mistake in his dance performance. where he was meant to balance on Woojin and Jungin a little longer. At the end of the episode, the scouts shared their thoughts on the Stray Kids members, and JYP made his decision regarding the group's future. He felt it would be best for Felix to continue training at the company separately from Stray Kids due to his limited Korean skills and recent dance mistake. Felix's elimination devastated the remaining members, especially Bang Chan, his fellow Australian, who promised Felix he would never leave him behind and urged him to always find him. Near the end of the 9th episode, JYP revealed that he didn't feel the same spark and energy in Stray Kids as he initially did, associating it with them just clicking together stronger when they're the full 9-member group. Because of this, JYP decided to give Mino and Felix another chance and let the viewers decide in a live finale. The viewers voted in favor of the 9-member lineup, a whopping 96% to 4. It was clear even if Felix had his mistakes now and then, the fans would love him regardless and always support him. With the final vote, he was accepted into the final lineup of Stray Kids and given the opportunity to debut, having the 3rd shortest training period with JYP Entertainment in the group. The following year, on March 25th, 2018, Felix made his debut in Stray Kids with a performance at Jangchung Arena. Despite the possible language difficulties, he decided to use his English name, Felix, as his stage name. Additionally, he kept Youngbook as his Korean name, one that fans exceptionally loved and found cute, despite JYPE's initial opinions. The next day, Felix and Stray Kids released their first album, I'm Not. Just a few months later, on August 6th, Stray Kids released their follow-up album, I Am Who. The album features an intro track titled Who, which Felix co-wrote with Woojin and Han. The song reflects the album's theme of finding yourself at your own pace, even if it's different from the people around you. 20 days later, on August 26th, Felix joined Lino and Hyunjin for a dance performance video, forming the dance unit, Dance Ratcha. Felix played a key role in choreographing the performance, as well as guiding the camera work. The SKZ player performance showcased his growth in dance since his training days. In 8 months since the survival show, his dance skills had vastly improved, with his movements looking significantly smoother and more defined. On March 25th, 2019, the 1-year anniversary of their debut, Stray Kids released Clay One Miro. The 5th track on the album was titled Boxer and showcased Felix's prior taekwondo skills in the choreography. At the tip of the 2nd pre-chorus, Felix performs a tornado kick, both a very powerful kick and a difficult one. Felix makes it look easy though, thanks to his prior 12 years of experience. The 2nd album in the Clay series, Clay 2 Yellow Wood, released just a few months later on June 19th. The album featured Side Effects as its title track, prominently showcasing Felix's unique lower vocal tone. His voice can be especially heard in the final chorus, as he leads with almost no background instrumentation. On July 1st, Felix became the MC for the Korean TV program Pops and Soul. The TV series differed from other programs, as it was prominently an English program, making Felix the Aussie a perfect fit. In the show, he went over various topics, such as current news in K-pop, provided tips for K-pop fans, and even taught viewers how to do dances to popular K-pop songs. He served as an MC through all of 2019 until January of 2020, where he inevitably stepped down as MC. Being fluent in English, Felix and Bang Chan often take the lead in American interviews. One memorable appearance was on February 13th, when Stray Kids was featured as guests on the Zach Sang Show. Felix's multilingual ability helped him stand out without overshadowing the other members, allowing him to engage with the audience while still highlighting the group's collective presence. During the interview, host Zach Stang praised Felix's deep voice, noting the strong impact it has, even on people who aren't dedicated fans. A few months later, on June 17th, Stray Kids released their first full-length album, Go Live. The title track, God's Menu, featured Felix's voice prominently in both the second verse and the bridge. His part in the second verse particularly stood out, as the contrast between the otherwise loud, aggressive song and his low, whisper-like vocals highlighted his voice more than ever before. The impact was more than clear, with the God's Menu music video reaching 66 million views within just 28 days. 16 million more than their previous title track, Levanter, had accumulated in almost 5 years. As of now, God's Menu holds the record as Stray Kids' most watched music video, with over 480 million views. With the success of God's Menu, Stray Kids gained more attention, and new listeners often refer to Felix as the guy that sings that one part, recognizing his deep voice in key moments of songs. This included his standout parts in tracks like the previously released Side Effects, as well as future hits like Maniac and Case 143. Additionally, Go Live sold 70,000 more copies in its first month than their previous album, Clay Levanter. While Clay Levanter sold 182,300 copies in its first month, Go Live sold 243,462 copies in the same time frame. Felix's vocal performance certainly played a significant role in helping Stray Kids reach the level of success they claim today. On August 4th, Felix released his first vlog, in which he and his fellow Aussie, Bang Chan, baked one of his iconic recipes, coffee cookies. In his free time, Felix enjoys baking. One of Stay's favorite recipes follows a similar structure, that being brownies infused with coffee powder, just like the cookies Felix and Bangchan made. On September 14th, Stray Kids released their first repackaged album, In Life. The album featured tracks written by each Ratcha unit in Stray Kids, with Felix's unit, Dance Ratcha, writing the 7th track, Wow. Wow has since become the most played song in the 3 In Life unit tracks. Later, on November 25th, Hyunjin and Felix were featured in a promotional film for Dior's new sneakers, B27. Days Korea included a short comment in the description in which they described the duo as being capable of perfectly displaying the essence of Stray Kids through their moves. On December 9th, Felix began a new ASMR series called 801 Stay FM. Fans and members alike had often joked that Felix's voice was perfect for ASMR, and this series was his gift to Stay, who had shown immense appreciation for his voice throughout the year. The series included 4 episodes, with a new one released every other week until January 20th, 2021. Before the year ended, Felix gave one final performance on December 31st, alongside the boys' Yanghoon and G-Idol's Woodsy at NBC's 2020 Music Festival. The trio delivered a summer-inspired performance, where ironically, Felix's iconic deep voice was not the focus. Instead, he showcased his singing skills, surprising many with his noticeably different vocal tone, a shift from his usual deep, low voice to a higher, cutesier sound. On the same day, Stray Kids released their annual Step Out video, where they share their goals for the upcoming year. Unlike their previous Step Out 2019 and Step Out 2020 videos, which were text-only, Step Out 2021 featured Felix narrating. Using his well-loved voice, he walked viewers through the group's achievements in 2020 and outlined their goals for 2021. South Korea celebrates Valentine's Day slightly different from places around the world. In South Korea, Valentine's Day is reserved for women to give guys gifts, rather than it going both ways. The guys later give back to those that gifted them on March 14th, known as White Day. Felix collaborated with Changbin to release a song on White Day. The two of them worked together to write the song because, on April 1st, Stray Kids joined Mnet's new reality TV series, Kingdom Legendary War. Later, in the 8th episode, which aired on May 20th, they delivered a remix performance of their hit song, God's Venue, with Blackpink's Doo 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 Doo. The performance opened with Felix spotlighted in a Deadpool costume, a nod to the popular Marvel anti-hero. Deadpool first appeared in a comic book on December 11th, 1990, and later in Fox's X-Men Origins Wolverine from 2009. However, fans were disappointed with this portrayal. 7 years later, Fox reintroduced the character in the 2016 film Deadpool, with Canadian actor Ryan Reynolds reprising the role. Felix started the performance by sitting on a ledge with his feet dangling, while drawing and listening to the radio, an homage to Deadpool's opening scene. Initially, JYP Entertainment declined the request to incorporate Deadpool's likeness into the performance, but Stray Kids leader, Bangchan, insisted on it, feeling that the character resonated with the group's identity. Eventually, JYPE approved the idea, placing Felix in the spotlight as Deadpool, bringing a unique twist to their stage performance. The performance caught Ryan Reynolds' attention on Twitter, leading him to interact with Stray Kids, and most notably their leader, Bangchan. The final episode of Kingdom Legendary War aired on June 3rd, and to commemorate the finale, Felix baked his famous coffee cookies for his fellow contestants. 16 days later, on June 19th, Felix joined Bangchan, Changbin, and Seungmin on the SKZ player track Up All Night, contributing his unique vocal tone to complement the song's contrasting styles. On July 23rd, Felix was featured in his first solo pictorial and interview, featuring on GQ Korea's August issue, marking one of Stray Kids' earliest solo magazine features. A week later, he appeared on GQ Korea's YouTube channel for an interview, showcasing his charm and personality individually for fans. On September 16th, Felix joined Lino and Hyunjin, his fellow Dance Ratcha members, in Et Ro's luxury fashion campaign. The promotional film emphasized their dance skills, allowing Felix to display his versatility beyond standard performances. On October 21st, he was featured in both a fashion film and tutorial, making his first solo cover appearance for the November issue of Star One magazine. Just over a month later, on November 29th, Stray Kids released their first seasonal-themed album, Christmas Evil, where Felix's iconic deep voice played a major role. His parts in the title track, specifically in the first chorus and ending refrain, became an instant hit on social media. Even those unfamiliar with Stray Kids found themselves drawn to Felix's distinctive voice, with his lines frequently used in holiday-themed content. This exposure introduced new listeners to Felix's charms and encouraged them to explore more of Stray Kids music. Stray Kids released Step Out 2022 on December 31st, which featured Felix's voice like last year. However, he also acted in the announcement video, where it was themed like a CEO of a company going over their newest products. This theme presents Felix at the front of Stray Kids, celebrating their accomplishments in 2021 and announcing their plans for 2022. Felix began 2022 with another pictorial interview, this time with Singles Korea on January 19th. 8 days later, Singles Korea released a behind-the-scenes film to their Instagram account. Later, on February 9th, JYP Entertainment put out an announcement regarding Felix. They mentioned how he had previously been experiencing back pain and was diagnosed with an intervertebral disc herniation. It's unlikely he had any surgeries performed for it, and rather took medication while resting. At the end of the month, on February 27th, Stray Kids announced their next album, Ordinary, accompanied by a trailer that centers on Felix making his way up through the floors of a skyscraper. The album was later released on March 18th, marking a special moment just 1 week before the group's 4th debut anniversary. Its title track, Maniac, quickly became one of Stray Kids' most popular songs, reaching over 320 million plays on Spotify. Felix's distinctive deep voice stands out in the song, especially in the first chorus and post-bridge. During Maniac's promotional stages, Felix managed his injury by taking a selective approach to his performances. He delivered his lines and then stepped aside, reducing his movements but still maintaining his presence. This style allowed him to stay involved, though it required a high level of focus to ensure he hit each cue and returned to the main stage at the right moments. A few months later, on June 24th, Twice member Nayeon began her solo career with a mini-album titled I'm Nayeon. The second track, No Problem, featured Felix with his vocalistic talents, showcasing his abilities outside of Stray Kids' signature sound. Shortly after Maxinus' release, Felix and Bangchan were featured on Eric Nam's P.O.Box show, in which they tried sauces, and Felix reveals he was confused about how Michelin stars work, believing the max star count was 5 instead of 3, thanks to his iconic God's Menu line. On December 21st, Stray Kids released SKZ Replay, a compilation album featuring previously released SKZ player songs, along with new tracks. Included were some of Felix's earlier collaborations, like Because and Up All Night, as well as 2 brand new contributions he helped write for the album. The 7th track of SKZ Replay, Deep End, marks one of Felix's solo pieces, co-written with producer Shim Eunji, structured as a piano ballad. Deep End exposed the lingering weight of heartbreak, comparing the sensation to sinking in a pool. Felix's diverse use of vocal tone adds depth to the song's minimal instrumentation, with his lower tones creating a unique contrast that amplifies the song's emotional descent. His vocal range led many listeners to wonder if a second singer was featured, showcasing his ability to layer contrasting vocal colors within a single performance. The 10th track, Love Stay, is a full group song. Felix, Hyunjin, and Ian wrote the track with producer Kim Se-mi, again displaying his experience with songwriting. 10 days later, on December 31st, Felix provided a voiceover for Step Out 2023, which was themed inside of a bedroom and pinball machine. The following year, on January 30th, 2023, Felix was featured in an interview with Beauty Plus Korea magazine as part of his cover feature for their February issue. His photo shoot with Beauty Plus was sponsored by the French luxury brand, Kenzo, placing Felix in the brand's clothing. This photo shoot was more than substantial for him, as the luxury brand was placing their faith in Felix to help them market their brand. On March 24th, BTS's Jimin released his mini-album, Face. To promote the album, Jimin appeared on Pixid's YouTube channel on March 26th for a game. During the game, one contestant shared that, while she had been a dedicated BTS fan, Felix's deep voice of Maniac had stolen her attention. In response, Jimin jokingly called out to Felix, using his Korean name, Youngbook, saying he'd bring her back to the BTS fandom for a bit. This mention surprised Felix, as he holds great admiration for BTS's members, making the interaction especially memorable for him. Felix later responded to Jimin's message by performing a dance cover to Like Crazy on March 31st. Felix appeared on the cover of Elle Korea's May issue with a photo shoot sponsored by Louis Vuitton. His month was packed with fashion events. He attended Louis Vuitton's Women's Pre-Fall 2023 show on May 1st, followed by Gentle Monster's grand opening in Japan on May 10th. On May 20th, he joined Levi's celebration for their 150th anniversary of their iconic 501 jeans. To wrap up the month, Felix attended Louis Vuitton's Women's Cruise 2024 show in Italy on May 27th, further solidifying his presence in the luxury fashion world. In June, W Korea featured Felix on their cover, with the shoot sponsored once again by Kenzo. Shortly after, on June 2nd, Stray Kids released their third full-length album, 5 Star, which included the track FNF, or Flora and Fauna. Co-written by Felix, Bangchan, and producer Trippy, FNF is a heartfelt tribute to their home country, Australia. On June 27th, Felix attended Bulgaria's Serpentine 75 exhibit with Mama Muspasa. His influence in fashion was solidified on August 22nd, when Louis Vuitton named him as a house ambassador ambassador, a role that highlights his growing prominence in luxury fashion. In September, Stray Kids made an appearance at the VMAs in the United States, where they performed their latest track, S-Class, and took home the award for Best K-pop Music Video. With over 3.5 million viewers tuned into the show, this was an incredible opportunity for the group to gain international exposure. Felix in particular drew attention from new fans, with many asking about the blonde guy on stage. Following this success, Felix attended Louis Vuitton's Women's Spring-Summer 2024 show in Paris on October 2nd. A few days later, on October 8th, Stray Kids released a trailer for their upcoming album, Rockstar, with Felix and leader Bang Chan delivering the trailer's voiceover. On October 30th, Felix appeared in the music video for Niju's Korean single, Heartress, where he played a high school student, in which Niju tried to get his fluffy keychain. November was a busier month too, with Felix featured on W Korea's digital cover, sponsored by Louis Vuitton. Towards the end of the month, he took part in W Korea's 18th annual Love Your W campaign on November 24th. Just 6 days later, on November 30th, Felix attended Louis Vuitton's pre-fall show by Pharrell Williams and appeared on GQ Korea's YouTube channel for an interview promoting his December cover. The following week, he attended GQ Korea's night party on December 7th. For Christmas, Felix joined Niju in a festive performance of their song, Heartress. A week later, on December 31st, he delivered another special Christmas performance, this time on NBC, alongside his fellow Dance Russia members, Lino and Hyunjin. Together, they presented a charming, dance-centered rendition of White Love, delighting fans with their playful and coordinated moves. As 2024 was beginning, Felix donated 100 million Korean won to help children in Laos suffering from poor sanitation and nutrition through UNICEF on January 4th. Around the same time, he was given a break lasting 3 weeks. Felix stated he felt unfulfilled from simply donating and decided to use that time to travel to Laos to help serve those same children. UNICEF took the opportunity to document it, uploading 3 episodes to their Korean YouTube channel. Shortly after, he donated an additional 50 million won to UNICEF, as well as 50 million won to World Vision. Following his service in Laos, he was featured on Vogue Korea's digital cover, sponsored by Bulgari Perfume. On March 5th, Felix made his runway debut at Louis Vuitton's Paris Fashion Week Women's Fall-Winter 2024 show. This was a notable milestone, as K-pop idols appearing on the runway is incredibly rare, with most featured as models rather than runway performers. Felix shared that he felt extremely nervous leading up to the show, but received support from model Jung Ho-yeon, who reassured him and offered guidance on what to do. The following month, Felix continued his impact in fashion, appearing on Harper's Bazaar Japan's physical cover and Harper's Bazaar Korea's digital cover for April. On May 2nd, Stray Kids released a teaser for their collaboration single, Lose My Breath. In the trailer, Felix provides a voiceover, narrating and setting the scene for the song and music video. Later that month, he attended Louis Vuitton's Women's Cruise 2025 show in Barcelona on May 27th. Shortly after, Felix was featured on Vogue's main YouTube channel with over 15 million subscribers. The video follows Felix as he prepares for the Louis Vuitton show, offering a behind-the-scenes look and an interview that highlights his experiences and insights as he gets ready for the event. On June 18th, Stray Kids released a trailer for their upcoming album, 8. As part of the album's promotion, they shared short videos featuring each member acting as TV ad hosts, humorously selling 8 fortune cookies. Only one of these ads was included in the trailer, with Felix's video prominently showcased at the very start. A few weeks later, Felix co-hosted an Apple Music exclusive radio show, All About Stray Kids Radio, alongside his fellow Aussie, Bang Chan. On July 17th, Felix also appeared on Radio Star, an NBC program, marking one of his first solo TV interviews where he represented Stray Kids on his own. Just a few days later, on July 19th, 8 was released, with Felix contributing as a co-writer on the 5th track, Runners. In the same day, Marvel Korea released a special interview between Felix, Bang Chan, and Hollywood actors Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. This interview was particularly meaningful for Felix, who once portrayed Deadpool in Kingdom Legendary War, and now had the chance to interview the original Deadpool actor himself, Ryan Reynolds. Later, on September 8th, Felix attended Tommy Hilfiger's Spring-Summer 2025 show at New York Fashion Week, alongside his fellow Dance Russia member, Lino. Felix was then featured on the cover of Elle Korea's November issue, accompanied by a concept film as part of the promotion. Both the cover and film were sponsored by Louis Vuitton. Throughout his 7 years as a K-pop idol, Felix has demonstrated not only his charisma, but also his skills through his fashion presence and global praise. Kim Seungmin is best known for his vocal skills, impressing many even before he had debuted. Born on September 22nd, Seungmin grew up loving baseball. His grandfather was initially the one to introduce him to it, which he continued for the majority of his childhood until he was injured and couldn't continue due to family circumstances. Later in middle school, he began wondering what he should do to be happy in life. He speaks of a time in 4th grade when he won a prize in a children's song contest with his choir. He remembered the feeling of performing for people, specifically singing, and enjoying their applause afterwards. performance. With this, he decided to pursue music, leading him to extensively practice singing and continue studying hard to please his parents. A little later, in early 2017, Seungmin attended JYP Entertainment's 13th annual yearly audition, demonstrating the skills he had worked so hard to perfect. His audition was more than successful, placing second out of all the other auditionees. Following his successful audition, he joined JYP Entertainment as a trainee towards the middle of March. He further trained his vocal abilities, as well as worked on his dance skills. 5 months later, on August 22nd, he appeared at JYP's Homecoming Showcase. Seungmin participated in the showcase with 8 other trainees, going by the name Male Project Team. The 9 trainees later appeared in their first music video, Elevator. 11 days later, Seungmin was featured in a reality TV program titled Stray Kids. The name of the show came from the more permanent team name they came up with, that being Stray Kids. The 9 members were tasked with missions in which they had to prepare performances and give them the following week. Stray Kids' first mission was to create their own original song and perform it live for JYP. They presented Elevator, which featured Seungmin singing the intro of the song, as well as the first lines of the pre-chorus. He showcased his vocal range with the intro, showing his ability to sing in a lower, monotone sound. JYP would later praise this skill in the 4th episode. The 9 contestants were tasked with splitting into groups of 3 and performing new songs as those units. Seungmin teamed up with Stray Kids leader, Chan, and Hyunjin, who is currently at risk of elimination. The 3 of them performed their original song, 4419, structured as a ballad that discusses past memories. JYP mentions how Seungmin's part in the beginning of the song feels almost like a conversation, especially praising his use of the middle register. Seungmin was later given the opportunity to debut in the 10th episode, never once being placed at risk of elimination. The following year, he made his debut as Stray Kids with a performance at Jongchung Arena on March 25th, 2018. The day after, on March 26th, Stray Kids released their first album, I Am Not. However, Seungmin's vocals weren't heavily featured in the title track, District 9. The majority of his lines were performed in a rap style. A little less than a month later, Stray Kids was featured in an interview with X-Sports News to help fans familiarize themselves with the members. In the interview, Seungmin revealed one of his dreams as a singer. He mentions how he's performed with his seniors before, referring to more experienced groups, and wishes to perform in a place which only Stray Kids fans, who would later be named Stay, are present. A few months later, Seungmin took up the role of MC for Arirang TV's After School Club. What's especially interesting about Seungmin becoming an MC is the fact that After School Club is prominently an English program. As an MC host, he was able to put to use the extensive studying he did earlier in his life, hosting on an English show from July 24th to December 25th, 2018. Around the same time, Stray Kids launched a video series called SKZ Player, which showcased the members' creativity through original songs, dance performances, and covers of existing tracks. Each unit within the group contributed: the rap unit, 3 Ratcha, the dance unit, Dance Ratcha, and the vocal unit, Vocal Ratcha. Seungmin was part of Vocal Ratcha, along with Woojin and Ian. Together, they performed a vocal cover of Tomorrow Today, a 2017 track by JJ Project, senior artist from their label, who later joined GOT7. Vocal Ratcha credited the song for providing comfort during times when they felt uncertain about their future, giving it a strong purpose for being their first cover. The following year, on February 14th, 2019, Seungmin graduated from Changdam High School, the same high school Bang Chan earlier attended. A little over a month later, Stray Kids released Clay One Miro, which featured Miro as his title track. Seungmin's vocal skills are highlighted vastly more than in District 9 a year prior, being featured in the chorus with his fellow Vocal Ratcha members, Woojin and Ian. Miro was a very successful song for Stray Kids too, landing them their first music show win on April 14th, solidifying both Stray Kids' talents and Seungmin's impressive vocal strengths. Shortly after, Seungmin became an MC again, this time for MBC's English program, We K-Pop. He didn't serve as an MC for very long, hosting from July 12th to October 11th, 2019. He ended his duties to prepare for Stray Kids' first world tour, District 9 Unlocked, with their first show on November 23rd at Olympic Hall in Seoul, South Korea. With this performance, Seungmin began fulfilling his earlier dream to perform for Stay exclusively. There were 2 shows at Olympic Stadium, pulling in 9,321 attendees. A few months later, Stray Kids performed internationally in the United States at Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California. Wow. Seungmin and Stray Kids gave their largest single-night performance here on February 16th, 2020, with 5,294 attendees. Unfortunately, this ended up being their final show of the tour, being unexpectedly canceled due to the worldwide lockdown. At the beginning of 2020, Stray Kids released a video with their plans for the year. One of their primary goals was to continue the SKZ Player series. The group began the series shortly after the lockdown, giving both Stay and new listeners comfort
comfort in the uncertain time. Initially, this plan was simply for original songs from the members. However, Seungmin suggested the idea of covering songs as well to the company. Seungmin was the one to lead the extended SKZ players, singing a cover of Gaho's Start on May 4th, 2020. Start is the soundtrack song, coming from the Korean drama Itaewon Class. Later in the month, on May 23rd, Seungmin covered Day 6's track, You Were Beautiful. Seungmin has expressed his love for performing covers, mentioning how they challenge him to improve his vocal skills and capture the essence of the original songs. In a 2022 interview with Paper Magazine, he shared that he started looking for a vocal coach in 2020, likely around the time he worked on his SKZ player covers. His dedication to learning and growth was evident, not only in his covers, but also in his contributions to Stray Kids as a whole. 3 months after covering You Were Beautiful, Seungmin teamed up with Han, a member of TRICIA to showcase their exceptional vocal abilities. The duo performed a cover of Congratulations, another song by Day 6. Han, who is often regarded as an ace or all-rounder in Stray Kids, brought out a sense of friendly competition, with both members pushing each other to deliver impressive vocals throughout the performance. On October 30th, he challenged himself again with a cover, this time to Sandol's song, Stay As You Are. About a month later, he was featured on Kiss the Radio, a radio show hosted by Day 6's Young K. He participated with Lino as fixed guests as part of the Challenge SKZ segment. Seungmin made his first appearance with Lino on November 23rd and participated in the show through December 27th, 2021. As 2021 was beginning, Seungmin released a cover of EXO Baekhyun's song, Love Again, on January 2nd, 2021. He performed another cover at the end of the month, on January 31st, this time accompanied by other singers. He performed Shinhwa's Once in a Lifetime at the Seoul Music Awards, alongside the boys' Hyunjin, IZ*ONE's Eunbi, 80's Jongho, ITZY's Leah, and Oh My Girl's Seunghee. Seungmin released an original song with Changbin on March 25th as part of their 3rd debut anniversary. The duo wrote Piece of a Puzzle with Bang Chan, demonstrating Seungmin's writing abilities and collaborative talents. A few months later, on May 7th, he released another cover, this time of Ha Hyun Song's track, 3108. Around the same time, Stray Kids participated in Mnet's reality TV program, Kingdom Legendary War. Stray Kids competed against 5 other groups to be named Kings of K-pop. Initially, each group's goal was to fight against each other. However, in the 7th episode, the 6 groups were tasked to group up with each other and create unit teams and continue competing. 80s was given the first choice, selecting to team up with B2B and Stray Kids. The 3 groups came together to make up the team, Mayfly. In the 8th episode, Seungmin's performance of Mayfly's vocal unit, performing with B2B's Eunkwon and 80's Jongho. The 3 members came together to decide what to perform, with Seungmin suggesting performing a cover of soloist IU's song, Love Poem. Eunkwon too had the song in mind, making it an easy decision. Mayfly V gave the performance in the same episode, where fans and new viewers saw Seungmin's voice exceptionally highlighted. His performance even caught the original singer's attention, with IU praising it and recommending that people watch the full performance. With this praise, he solidified one of his original dreams with the covers, that being to capture the essence of the original song. Seungmin's performance also earned him praise from his fellow Stray Kids member, Changbin, who found it deeply moving. Changbin shared that he was especially touched by the effort Seungmin put into preparing for his cover of Love Poem. Watching Seungmin's dedication and passion brought Changbin to tears, not because of the performance itself, but because he was overwhelmed by Seungmin's hard work and commitment to delivering his best. Seungmin's efforts were well received, with all 33 of the judges voting in favor of Mayfly V's performance over their competitors. On September 19th, Seungmin performed a cover of Day 6's song, Zombie, with Bang Chan at K-Con Tact High 5. Shortly after, on October 10th, he released his first solo soundtrack song, Here Always, for the Korean drama Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. This marked a milestone as the first solo OST by any member of Stray Kids. While the group had previously contributed to soundtracks with songs like Top and Hello Stranger, this was the first time a member performed a track entirely on their own. On December 17th, he performed a cover as part of KBS's music festival. Seungmin, along with Kim Woo-sok, Astro's Yoon Sun-ha, and the boys' Hyunjae, performed T-Max's song, Model Paradise. 10 days later, on December 27th, Lino and Seungmin concluded their Challenge SKZ segment of Kiss the Radio. The following year, on February 9th, Seungmin released his cover of Zombie to YouTube. However, Bang Chan was not featured on the cover anymore. Rather, Han took up his parts. Almost a month later, Seungmin was featured on the Lee Moo-jin Service Show, a show that highlights some of the best singers in K-pop. On July 14th, Seungmin released a cover of Justin Bieber's hit song, Ghost. Despite the familiarity many listeners had with the original, Seungmin managed to recapture its charm, making it one of his most popular covers. 3 months later, on October 20th, he released his second solo soundtrack song, Close to You, for the Korean drama Love in Contract. The track, a heartfelt piano ballad, showcased his emotional vocal delivery and further solidified his reputation as a talented vocalist. At the end of 2022, Stray Kids released a compilation album titled SKZ Replay. The album features Seungmin's collaboration track, Piece of a Puzzle, and a new solo song, Stars and Raindrops. None of Seungmin's covers were included, rather it compiled the original songs and introduced new ones. Seungmin worked with producer Hyunjin, who had previously worked on several Day 6 songs like Zombie and You Were Beautiful. Seungmin specifically selected G-Song for this reason, as he wished for the song to have a modern rock feel. As 2023 was beginning, Seungmin released a cover of Yoonha's song, Event Horizon. 2 months later, he released an original song with Changbin and Felix. The three of them came together to create the song, Snain. Shortly after, on May 8th, Seungmin was scheduled to continue his childhood baseball dreams. He was invited to throw the first pitch for the Lotte Giants in Busan. However, the game was canceled due to poor weather. The team still allowed him to throw a pitch, giving him a vision of what else he could have done with his life. His skills were further recognized on May 16th, where he was nominated for Best Artist of K-Drama OST for his song, Close to You, as part of the 2023 Top 10 Awards. Seungmin later appeared on the Korean TV series, King of Masked Singer. He appeared in episode 48, airing on June 11th, where he performed Wave. He reappeared in the following episode, where he sang Laundry by Lee Juk, which he was unfortunately eliminated in. The following month, Seungmin was featured on the cover of Days Korea, alongside his fellow vocal Ratcha member, Ian, and dance Ratcha member, Lino. The full shoot was sponsored by the luxury brand, Dior, showing that luxury brands were building up trust in Seungmin and his fellow Stray Kids members. The next month, Seungmin released an original song called Hold On, which Bang Chan and Han wrote for him. A week later, Seungmin's 2 soundtrack songs, Close to You and Here Always, were moved from the Stray Kids profile to a personal profile under Seungmin's name. This profile would be associated with all of his songs in the future. The year after, Seungmin was featured on Nylon Japan's January 2024 cover. The shoot was sponsored by luxury fashion brand Coach, with the shoot having a festive feel coming off of Christmas. This appearance marked Seungmin's first solo cover feature, especially highlighting his presence outside of being a well-loved singer. 2 months later, he attended Lowe's Paris Fashion Week Women Fall Winter 2024 show on March 1st. Which too was a first for him. 2024 was starting off really well for him, making his first solo cover appearance in fashion show attendance. 14 days later, on March 15th, he released Phobia, the fan favorite track from the webtoon series I'm the Queen in This Life. 3 days later, Seungmin was given another chance to throw the ceremonial pitch, this time for the exhibition match between Team Korea and the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Gocheok Skydome in Seoul. Towards the end of the month, Stray Kids hosted their 4th annual fan meeting called SKZ's Magic School. On March 31st, the final day of the event, Seungmin and Han debuted a brand new original song titled Respirator. The song would not be released until later in 2024, leaving fans to be overwhelmingly excited and curious about the song. A few days later, on April 9th, Seungmin released another soundtrack song, Destiny, for the Korean drama The Midnight Studio. This track added to his growing portfolio of soundtrack contributions, further highlighting his involvement as a vocalist. 2 weeks later, on April 23rd, he attended Chanel's Rogue Allure pop-up store in Seoul, South Korea. Just 3 days later, Seungmin teased his upcoming YouTube series, Song By. The series centers around the theme of covering songs that are close to him and explaining that connection through the video. He began his series on April 28th, where he performed a cover of IU's Love Poem, the same song he covered as Mayfly V in Kingdom Legendary War. In the video, he explains how he views the initial performance as a turning point in his career, where he began receiving recognition as one of Stray Kids' vocalists. With this connection, he believed Love Poem would be a perfect song to begin his Song By series, wishing to recognize its impact. In June, Seungmin was featured on the cover of W Korea's June issue, sponsored by Low. On June 2nd, he released the 2nd episode of his Song By series, where he covered High and Dry by the British rock band Radiohead. During the episode, Seungmin shared how supportive Changbin had been of the series, noting that Changbin was one of the first to watch the episode and even watch the teaser. Seungmin also expressed his appreciation for older rock music, like Radiohead, a passion reflected in his earlier solo track, Stars and Raindrops. Shortly after, Han and Seungmin released Respirator to YouTube on June 4th. The following month, he was featured on Elle Japan's July cover, with the shoot sponsored by luxury jewelry brand Harry Winston. On July 3rd, he attended Chanel's Coco Crush pop-up store in Seoul, South Korea. Seungmin released his 3rd Song By episode on July 7th, being recorded in a green field, a direct contrast to the gray, monotone style of the previous episode. He covers Yoasobi's song, Tracing a Dream, which he feels reminds him of his youth. 19 days later, on July 26th, Seungmin was featured on B2B's Eunkwang's YouTube show as part of the promotion for Stray Kids' newest album, 8. The 4th episode of Songbin released on August 18th, covering Yoonha's song, Umbrella. Umbrella is a song written by Epic High's Taklo, who was very excited to hear Seungmin wish to cover Umbrella. When it was released, he shared it to his Instagram story, stating that it was beautifully performed. A little over a month later, Seungmin attended Tasaki's 70th anniversary event on September 19th. 3 days later, Seungmin released the 5th episode of Songbin on September 22nd, the same day as his birthday. He performed 2 songs in the episode. The first song was a cover of Lau's song, Steal a Show, which was featured in Pixar's 2023 film, Elemental. The second was the performance of his original song, Stars and Raindrops. The 6th episode released nearly 2 months later, coming out slightly longer due to Seungmin being on tour with Stray Kids. Despite this, he wished to release a new episode, even if it was a shorter one. Airing on November 17th, Seungmin performed a cover of 21's song, Missing You. With it being shorter, there wasn't much backstory to the song in the video. However, the emotion behind it can still be felt through his performance skills. Additionally, he released his solo song, As We Are, on December 13th, which he wrote with Hyunjin Song. The song was initially presented on Stray Kids' Dominate World Tour and will now be featured on their special album, Hop. Additionally, Seungmin has not yet wrapped up his Songbin series, with many more episodes on their way, even if they don't come nearly as quickly as before. Young Jonghyun's vocal skills have shown remarkable growth, highlighting his dedication to improve and become one of Stray Kids' greatest singers. Born on February 8th, 2001, Jonghyun is the youngest member of Stray Kids. As the youngest of the group, he's referred to as the maknae of Stray Kids, a Korean word simply meaning youngest. Age plays a major role in South Korea, where it's customary to speak to those that are older than you with the utmost respect and care for those that are younger than you. These traditions carry over to the K-pop industry, where members not only care for each other, but also care for the maknae and try to help them as much as they can. Jonghyun grew up in Busan, South Korea, where he would later attend his first audition. During middle school, he developed an interest in singing and performing, enjoying the idea of being on stage. When JYP Entertainment announced auditions in Busan, Jonghyun saw it as a chance to gain experience. To his surprise, he passed the first round with the Academy calling him around 9:30 p.m., asking him to come back for a final audition. He rushed to perform again, but unfortunately didn't make it through the second round. JYP Entertainment encouraged him to keep practicing and try again when they returned to Busan. Jonghyun didn't take their advice though, where he would continue auditioning with other companies than JYP Entertainment. His auditions were successful for the most part, but he could only ever make it past the first round, getting rejected in the second round of auditions. Eventually, JYP came back to Busan, where he attempted to audition again. However, he followed his pattern of passing the first round and failing the second. Yet this time, it was different. JYP Entertainment asked him to get a haircut and come back in for a third round, stating that his hair was covering his eyes. This unusual third round was successful, leading Jonghyun to join the company and begin training to become a K-pop idol around 2016. The following year, Jonghyun was scheduled to be seen as a contestant at JYP Entertainment in Mnet's new survival show, Stray Kids. Leading up to the show, JYP Entertainment held a homecoming showcase in which a male team, going by Male Project Team, and a female team, Girl Team 2, competed to be JYP Entertainment's next K-pop group. Jonghyun competed with the Male Project Team with 8 other members. The 9 of them were selected by Park Jin-young, the chief creative officer of JYP. Those same 9 members came together as a more permanent group, Stray Kids. These performances were seen in the first episode of the Stray Kids survival show. JYP tasked Stray Kids with creating their own song and performing it live for him. Stray Kids selected Elevator, which would later be known as Hellevator. Chan, who is both the leader of Stray Kids and a member of the hip-hop group 3RACHA, wrote the melody and lyrics for the track. As a newer songwriter, he accidentally wrote the song too high for the average male singer. Because of this, Jonghyun only sang 2 lines throughout the whole song. His vocal skills were still being developed at the time, making the already difficult song incredibly hard for him. JYP felt that despite his short line distribution, his part stood out as amateurish and unstable. JYP recommended that he rather stick to shorter lines, like the My Elevator part in the chorus. Because of this, Jonghyun was placed at risk of elimination along with 2 other members. JYP instructed the members to form 3 groups of 3 for the next performance. Woojin and Jisung chose to team up with Jonghyun, offering him valuable guidance. Woojin, as a skilled vocalist, and Jisung, known for his strong vocals even as a rapper, worked together to help Jonghyun improve his singing. The trio performed School Life in the 4th episode, where Jonghyun experimented with melodic rapping alongside singing. Before presenting the performance to JYP,
JYP, the group rehearsed in front of Chan. He noticed significant improvement in Jonghyun's skills thanks to Woojin and Jisung's help. Chan advised them to stay focused during their performance, predicting that JYP should be impressed. Jonghyun initially struggled with the song, specifically the pre-chorus, which included a very high note that was challenging but crucial to nail. To overcome this, the trio modified the high note into a chant that all three of the members performed together, with Woojin and Jisung supporting Jonghyun on the part. Unfortunately, JYP felt that his performance was still lacking, stating that his melodic rap in the beginning was stuffy. Additionally, he brought up Jonghyun's dancing skills, mentioning how they felt short and held back. This feedback was certainly discouraging to say the least, but he continued practicing to prove his worth in the next performance. In the 6th and 7th episodes, Stray Kids competed against some of YG Entertainment's trainees as part of a generational tradition of JYP's trainees battling against YG's trainees. With the pride of JYP Entertainment online, Park Jun-young wanted to preview their performances and ensure the quality met his standards. Jonghyun participated in the vocal team with Woojin, Chan, and Jisung. The four of them performed a remixed version of As If It's Your Last by Blackpink, a girl group from YG Entertainment. However, when JYP reviewed their performance, he felt Jonghyun's vocal skills were still lacking and he just wasn't ready yet. He decided it would be best for both Stray Kids and the company if Jonghyun didn't participate with the vocal team. Despite his exclusion from the vocal team, he was still allowed to participate with the full group dance team. Jonghyun's fellow members noticed how much criticism he was receiving and made sure to encourage him as much as they could. Jonghyun too mentioned how hard it was for him, where he felt he was practicing and performing to the best of his ability, but it was never enough for JYP. Jonghyun's known for his wide smile and how he's almost always smiling, but he tries to smile to hide that something is weighing him down inside. After their battle with YG, Stray Kids gave a live busking performance in the 8th episode. Jonghyun continued to practice and delivered a successful performance that night. JYP had sent 2 mystery listeners to evaluate them, including producer Rado, who specifically praised Jonghyun's singing to JYP. Later, during feedback with the 8 remaining trainees, JYP passed on Rado's positive comments to Jonghyun. It marked the first time JYP openly praised Jonghyun on the show, acknowledging his noticeable vocal improvement and growth. Afterwards, Jonghyun called his mother to let her know he was praised. His mother shared that his aunt felt JYP was being too harsh on him, making the praise feel all the more welcome. Jonghyun persevered and showcased his talents during the live finale on December 19th, where Stray Kids performed for a live audience in national television. Jonghyun's performance demonstrated his progress, earning him a spot in the debut lineup. While participating in the survival show, Jonghyun, at just 16 years old, balanced his training life with high school. He enrolled at Seoul School of Performing Arts, also known as SOPA, the same school attended by his fellow Stray Kids member, Hyunjin, to continue his education while pursuing his dream. The following year, he debuted with Stray Kids at Jangchung Arena on March 25th. With his debut, he changed his stage name to Ian. Despite the heavy criticism, he debuted as a vocalist for Stray Kids. The group released their first album the following day, titled I Am Not. The title track, District 9, was prominently a rap and hip-hop song, leaving Ian with minimal parts in the song. However, Stray Kids released their second album, I Am Who, featuring My Pace as its title track. My Pace displayed his singing skills much more extensively, being highlighted at the beginning of both pre-choruses. On September 2nd, Stray Kids vocalists released a cover of JJ Project's song, Tomorrow, Today. Performing under the name TRICIA Rutta, the trio showcased their individual vocal talents as well as their cohesive group harmony. Ian played a standout role in the performance, as he was the second singer to open the cover, demonstrating his voice and displaying to fans and new listeners alike why he holds a key position as one of Stray Kids' vocalists. A little over a month later, Stray Kids released their third album and conclusion to the I Am series, I Am You. The title track, I Am You, is a song that especially highlighted Stray Kids' vocal talents. With the song, Ian was able to demonstrate his growing vocal skills in the spotlight of the chorus, proving he has a place in Stray Kids and won't hold back the group. The following year, Stray Kids celebrated their debut anniversary on March 25th by releasing a new album, Clay One Miro. The title track, Miro, too featured Ian in the chorus, letting him highlight the vocals he's worked so hard to improve. A few months later, on June 19th, Stray Kids released Clay 2 Yellow Wood, which didn't feature Ian singing anywhere near as much as before. The title track, Side Effects, was a very experimental track, taking inspiration from rap, hip-hop, EDM, and even rock to become a genre considered Stray Kids genre. Because of this, he only had one dedicated line towards the end. This was not to put his singing down though, as it just wasn't a song fit for his voice. Ian's voice came through even more prominently in later tracks on the album, such as Mixtape Number 1, Mixtape Number 2, and Mixtape Number 4. Mixtape Number 1 follows an EDM pop style, similar to earlier Stray Kids songs, like Awkward Silence and Voices. Ian's voice plays a key role in building tension during the pre-chorus, once again highlighting his vocal abilities. Mixtape Number 2 is a powerful vocal-driven track that emphasizes the voices of all Stray Kids members. This gave Ian the chance to showcase his growth to both those that doubted him and devoted stays. For further proving his development as a vocalist. Finally, mixtape number 4 revisits the pop EDM style of mixtape number 1, gives Ian a more versatile role, with lines in both the verses and the chorus. Later in the year, on October 27th, one of Ian's fellow vocal Ratcha members, Hyunjin, departed from Stray Kids for personal reasons. This left a significant gap in the group's vocal line, prompting Ian to step up and take on a larger role. The album's title track, Levanter, blends energetic rap verses with a softer, more laid-back bridge that allows Ian to shine. He takes center stage during the bridge, singing entirely on his own, before a brief line from Felix transitions the song back into its dynamic energy. This moment highlighted Ian's vocal growth and ability to handle more prominent parts within the group. In 2020, Bang Ye-dam of YG Entertainment's boy group, Treasure, released his first solo song, Wayo. On May 31st, a teaser for the song featured Ian, where he shared his thoughts of the song, praising it as a simple yet captivating track that listeners could easily sing along to. This wasn't just a random feature, as 3 years earlier, Ian and Ye-dam had competed against each other during Stray Kids' survival show. Ian appeared in the teaser alongside notable artists such as soloist John So-mi and Blackpink's Rosé. Being invited to not only listen to the song earlier than the general public, but also speak on the song for a teaser is a huge testament to both Ian's rising visibility in the K-pop industry and his importance for it too. A little over a month later, Ian appeared on Favorite Entertainment, a South Korean variety music program. On July 18th, he performed Lee Mi-ja's Camellia Lady, earning 5 out of 6 possible upvotes from the judges, with one judge immediately expressing her admiration for his singing. Following this performance, Ian showcased his versatility by dancing to 2 popular songs, EXO's Love Shot and BTS's Boy With Love. While Ian is often recognized for his vocal skills, this appearance demonstrated his exceptional growth as a dancer, something JYP had once criticized during the survival show. By delivering both strong vocals and impressive dance covers, Ian reinforced his positions as a key vocalist in Stray Kids, while also proving the hard work he put into improving his dancing abilities. Later that year, on December 5th, Ian released his first SKZ record, a cover of Jung Sung Hwan's If It Is You. The song, a vocally demanding ballad, once again highlighted Ian's vocal strengths and his ability to convey deep emotion through singing. The following year, on January 16th, 2021, Ian released his first original song, Maknae on Top. It was released as an SKZ player on Stray Kids' YouTube channel, featuring 2 of 3 Ratcha's members, Baekchan and Changbin. The music video has since become the most watched SKZ player video, amassing over 55 million views. As his first release song, the 2 experienced songwriters helped him with the writing process, as Ian is credited for writing the song as well. A few weeks later, on February 5th, he graduated from SOPA. Shortly after graduating, Ian participated in another TV series with Stray Kids, competing on Mnet's Kingdom Legendary War. The show features Stray Kids going up against 5 other boy groups, all tasked with delivering their strongest performances to claim the title of Kings of K-pop. The 5th episode, which aired on April 30th, challenged the groups to cover each other's songs and add their own twist. Stray Kids chose to perform their competitor B2B's Prey, a song renowned for its heavy vocal demands. Even B2B expressed their surprise at Stray Kids' bold decision, acknowledging how difficult the song was to execute. Ian was assigned one of the highest notes in the song's finale, an incredibly challenging part that required immense control and practice. He spent the entire standby time rehearsing the note repeatedly. Even as Stray Kids prepared to go on stage, Ian could be seen practicing, fully aware of the importance of that moment in the performance. Unfortunately, during the live performance, Ian wasn't able to hit the note perfectly. Despite his slip-up, he remained professional and gave his all until the very end, completing the performance alongside his members. Once off stage, Ian began to feel disappointed, believing he had let the group down and bombed the performance. However, Baekchan quickly stepped in to encourage him, not just as Stray Kids' leader, but as his friend. Chan reassured Ian that mistakes are a natural part of performing, showing that even he made heaps of mistakes during their set. The other members soon joined in, showering Ian with praise for his dedication and hard work. They pointed out how tirelessly he had practiced and admired his ambition, knowing that he had rehearsed more than any of them. While the moment tested Ian's confidence, it ultimately highlighted his determination to improve his unwavering commitment to the team, earning him even greater respect from both Stray Kids and Stay. A few days after Kingdom Legendary War concluded, on June 12th, Ian released a cover of Memory of Your Scent by Hyunjin. This cover served as an opportunity for Ian to reaffirm his abilities as a vocalist and rebuild his confidence after his uncertainty during Kingdom. Ian's emotional delivery and refined vocal control shined through in his cover, showcasing his growth and dedication to honing his craft. To his surprise and delight, the original singer, Hyunjin, viewed the cover and shared his thoughts. Hagak mentioned how he really enjoyed listening to Ian's rendition, praising the younger artist's performance. Receiving recognition and positive feedback from such a respected vocalist left Ian feeling proud and validated. The acknowledgement not only encouraged him, but also solidified his place as an emerging vocal talent within the K-pop industry, proving to both himself and others that his hard work was paying off. A few months later, Stray Kids released their second full-length album, No Easy. The album featured 14 tracks, including the 12th song, Gone Away, an emotional ballad written by Ian, Han, and Seungmin, as well as producers Armadillo and Gump. The song provided the perfect opportunity for Ian to showcase not only his vocal prowess, but also his growing songwriting expertise. His performance in Gone Away stood out, highlighting the depth of his emotional and technical skill, while the songwriting credits marked a significant milestone in his creative journey. Towards the end of the year, Ian took another step forward in his artistic growth by contributing to the fan-dedicated track, #LoveStay. While the overall sound and feel of the song were crafted by Bangchan, Hyunjin, and producer Kim Se-mi, the lyrics were collaboratively written by Hyunjin, Felix, and Ian. Although his role was focused on lyric writing, the experience was invaluable for him to further develop his songwriting abilities. The following year, Stray Kids released Ordinary on March 18, 2022, an album that showcased the group's darker side. Among the standout tracks was Waiting for Us, a melodic piece written by Stray Kids' primary vocalists Bangchan, Lino, Seungmin, and Ian. The song continued the emotive and heartfelt style seen in Ian's earlier contributions, like Gone Away and #LoveStay, allowing him to further shine as a vocalist. 6 months later, on September 20th, Ian released a cover of Kwon Jin-ah's Consolation. The song, known for its lyrics and tender melody, was a perfect match for Ian's vocal tone, showcasing his ability to convey deep emotion through his singing. Shortly after, Stray Kids returned with their album, Maxident, which included a new track from Vocal Russia titled Can't Stop. The duet between Ian and Seungmin explores the feelings of being unable to stop loving someone, tying into the overarching theme of love in the album. Ian's vocals played a crucial role in bringing out the song's heartfelt sincerity, further cementing his place as a key member of Vocal Russia. On October 23rd, Ian expanded his presence in the industry by making a special appearance as an MC for the music show Inkigayo. This opportunity showcased his growing confidence and charisma, demonstrating his versatility beyond just singing and songwriting. The following month, Jonghyun made his magazine cover debut, gracing the cover of @Star1 Korea magazine for the November issue. This milestone not only marked a significant step in his career, but also highlighted his growing influence in the fashion industry. Over the years, Ian has gained recognition for his keen sense of style and his love for exploring diverse fashion trends. With this cover, he began paving the way for what would become a flourishing journey in the world of fashion, signaling the start of his evolution into a diverse idol admired for his artistic talents and impeccable fashion sense. Towards the end of the year, on December 21st, Stray Kids released a compilation album titled SKZ Replay. The album featured a mix of previously released songs from Stray Kids, including Ian's playful track, Maknae on Top, and Changbin's emotional song, Streetlight. Maknae on Top continued its popularity as the song became the second most streamed track on SKZ Replay, amassing over 30 million streams on Spotify alone.
Wow.
The album's most played song, Deep End, is a brand new solo release. Ian also contributed a brand new solo song titled Hug Me, or Ananjugeo in Korean, which translates to I'll Hug You. The song explores a heartfelt and contrasting emotional dynamic where he expresses, I'll give you a hug, please give me a hug. This duality captures the longing and vulnerability of offering an unconditional love while hoping for reciprocation. With its delicate lyrics and soulful melody, Hug Me allows Ian to shine as a vocalist and songwriter, further solidifying his artistic growth and emotional depth. Leading up to the release of Stray Kids' third full-length album, 5 Star, Ian showcases vocals on the Lee Mujin Service Show on May 30th. This opportunity allowed him to spotlight his refined vocal skills, gaining recognition from new audiences while letting stay with his emotional depth and technique. The following month, Ian expanded his presence in the fashion and entertainment industries by appearing on the cover of Days Korea's July issue alongside fellow Vocal Russia member Seungmin and Stray Kids member Lino. Not only did the trio share a special group cover, but Ian also received his own individual cover, highlighting his growing individuality and appeal. The shoot was sponsored by luxury brand Dior, further solidifying Ian's growing status as a fashion icon. Just a few months later, on September 30th, Ian attended his first fashion show, appearing at Alexander McQueen's Paris Fashion Week 2024 Spring and Summer Show. This milestone appearance marked another step in Jonghyun's journey into the fashion world, solidifying his position as a rising figure with both style and influence. 1 month later, he attended Alexander McQueen's Galleria East Boutique reopening in Seoul on November 1st. Later, on December 5th, IN released a new song to YouTube named Untitled, featuring Hyunjin. Hyunjin even repainted a photo of IN, with his painting appearing in the video for the song. 1 week later, IN released a cover of The Little Prince by Rowook on December 12th. 14 days later, he collaborated with Bang Chan to write the original song, Black Hole. IN attended several fashion shows and occasions in 2024. First, he attended Alexander McQueen's Paris Fashion Week 2024 Fall and Winter Show on March 2nd, 2024. Later in May, he attended Damiani's 100th anniversary high jewelry exhibition on May 23rd. 7 days later, he attended Kith's flagship store opening in Seoul on May 30th. He was featured again on the cover of a magazine, this time for W Korea's June issue, with the shoot sponsored by Alexander McQueen. On June 7th, IN made a contribution by donating 100 million Korean won to Child Fund Korea, a donation aimed at improving the health and well-being of underprivileged children in South Korea. As a result of this generous gesture, he became the youngest member of the Green Nobel Donors Club at just 23 years old. In July, IN made an anonymous appearance on King of Masked Singer, a popular Korean TV show. His performances on 2 episodes, where he sang Lee Sung-chol's Live Long Day, Kim Young-woo's Love That Common Word, and BOL4's Mermaid, showcased his vocal versatility and surprise talents. These performances further endeared him to fans and added to his impressive achievements in 2024. A few months later, IN attended Bottega Veneta's Milan Fashion Week 2025 Spring and Summer Show on September 21st. He was seated in the front row of the show alongside big names like the rapper A$AP Rocky and fashion model Kendall Jenner. Just a few days later, he was featured in a pictorial with Vogue Korea on September 24th, sponsored by Bottega Veneta. The following month, he was again featured on Days Korea's cover, this time for their October issue. However, instead of it being sponsored by Dior like last time, Bottega Veneta stepped in to sponsor the shoot. A few months later, Stray Kids released their Hop EP on December 13th. Among its tracks was Hallucination, a solo piece by IN that he had first showcased during the group's Dominate World Tour. Originally written by Changbin, the song was reimagined by Jongin, who reworked its melodies and lyrics to align with his personal style and vocal strengths. The emotional track showed how much IN has grown as an artist, proving he can make music his own and connect deeply with listeners through his performance. Additionally, IN is set to be featured as part of Days Korea's January 2025 digital cover. His digital cover was sponsored by Damiani, placing him in their luxury jewelry. Since his struggles in the survival show, IN has extensively trained his vocals and displayed why he deserves a spot, not only in Stray Kids, but also as a fashion icon. Thanks for watching. Bye 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 bye.
This video is well made.
In depth of every member.
Shout out goes to Papo TJ.
Like if you didn't know them before this and everything they've achieved.
The creator must have taken a course on how to interpret things. Like he's giving accurate timings. Like he's putting certain perspective to the video. For example, he's saying maybe IN debuted and did this song. Then 10 days later he did this. Like he's
like
arranging
the
well the
timeline.
timeline
Oh,
to what
yeah,
was
yeah.
happening. His narration skills is a very, very good. It makes even the video like more interesting, and you wanna hear like you're getting hooked on it, you know.
Yeah.
2 hours 9 minutes is not a short video. So us staying throughout all this because of how he's interpreting and saying all those things. I noticed I didn't know a lot about it. I thought I know, but turns out I don't know a lot about them. Bro, when it's just started with Bang Chan explaining how he got there, the 7 years, I kind of know like he was there for a minute. He was one of the longest trainees, right? Who stayed a long time without debuting, 7 years. But there was more info he said. I kind of I forgot what he said. A lot of things with a lot of members until I forgot the point that I wanted to say about Bang Chan. Like a lot of info, you know. He said there. I kind of I knew it for the first time in this video.
I
Oh.
like the fact that you were talking.
No, say. I remember my point.
Okay, for me, I wanted to say I love the fact that they never gave up. No matter what they went through, they still kept on going. They still kept on going, and the fact that their members kept on helping them, they didn't let them down.
Yeah.
They kept on helping them and helping them. Yeah.
Also, shout out to the leader for assembling this group, because he was given like a role to bring this group to life. That's why, as he was explaining, Bang Chan, he recruited who was it?
Triracha.
Apart from the three ratchets and the dance ratchet, like it was Leno, because he was a good dancer and everything. It was like, you need to be in my team,
So
right?
it was like you.
It was like he was given like a soul like role by JYP. Like he was given the power to even like bring his own members, which is very amazing. Also get to know that we got September boys, 3 of them. It's crazy that one was September 14th, the other one is September 15th. The next day, bro,
Something.
24th,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And then there's me on 9th of September. And there was a lot of 9th September, they released that song. You know if you're a Virgo and September boy. Because, I saw some resemblance between me and Felix.
Really?
We're not talking about looks, we're talking about behaviors, being perfectionists. You feel me? Yeah, being fashionistas and everything. You think it's easy to wear like this? You think it's easy? You think you just wake up and wear that? It's something that has to be embodied through your bloodstream. As you're sleeping during the night. Because if some people they wear like this, they planned it yesterday. Me, when I wake up, it's just like, today I'm just gonna do this. You feel me? Like how Felix is.
You're very different.
Yeah, I'm very different. I'm contradicting yourself. That's the charm of it, of being a Virgo.
Okay.
Have you ever heard Felix when he's speaking and talking? They used to think like, even JYP say like, the way you're trying to like say, he didn't know the language very well. But look how it turned out now.
You don't know the language?
Yeah,
No,
that's why I'm contradicting myself. What you trying to say? Who was born in February? You even forgot who your member was born in the same way. I. Okay. When were you born, Queen? Was that January? I think I was a member.
Born in January.
Was a member born in January?
No, there's no one.
Benedict, when were you born?
April.
April.
Yep. Month of.
Colin?
Don't say.
May.
You know, man.
May. Trish? July. Good luck? September. So it's only me and my boy Good Luck here. We're kind of like matching with our boys. Virgo boys. Yeah?
Matching one.
Matching what? Only the month.
The matters. The both Virgos. That's why we are like grouped in the world. Virgos, Cancers, and
We're living on the
everything.
same planet.
Yeah?
We're matching.
You're matching with who? You?
We're living on the same planet.
It doesn't matter.
That's matching, bro.
What matters is the stars. What they call the things. Zodiac signs. You feel me? Also Jungkook, RN from BTS,
Wiz Khalifa,
September Boy,
Lil Wayne,
Beyonce,
Beyonce.
Jason Derulo. It's just a matter of like
Okay.
getting
Yeah,
born
man.
on
Hey,
September.
hey.
Yeah,
And the way life is out in January. Life is very hard.
someone is born in April 1st.
Fool's Day! Happy Fool's Day!
I didn't say April first.
I was like, Big Ben!
Good morning.
This video has been 3 hours, man. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, stay tuned. Peace.